guys, welcome to the first ever episode 37 of the Kind of Funny Gamescast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by one half of the coolest dudes in video games.
One of the coolest dudes in video games. The coolest dude in video games.
No, you're one half of the coolest dudes.
Won.
You
I've
and Colin
beaten
by
him.
yourselves are not the coolest dudes, but together
did
you
wrong.
are the coolest dudes. What?
You and Colin, rest in peace. Are the coolest dudes.
To be fair, he just went to New York. He's
Hard
not
to have
dead.
him. He's dead. Can we just
Still cool.
Can we start the race? So cool
is
in the
cool.
afterlife form.
Yeah. All right.
He's playing Mad Max up in the big game of the decade.
Nick's here too.
Hi.
And we have a very special guest here.
Hello.
Danny Shepard.
What up?
You might know him as Danny LeShep on Twitter.
Yeah.
You might know him as Ismahawk on YouTube.
Yeah.
You might know him from the Nightwing series.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude. He does a lot of cool VFX stuff. You should definitely go check out all that stuff. We talked all about it on Game Over Greggy Show. You should check that out. YouTube.com/kindoffunny. It'll be going up as this video goes up day by day.
Real quick,
All
you
of
play
that
video
stuff.
games too, right?
Of course.
All right, great.
So that's why he's here. So we're not talking about him.
Well,
this whole
I
thing.
know from previous experience that's not really a prerequisite
No,
for this
it's
show.
definitely not for the Kind of Funny Games stuff.
Last week we talked about towels for like an hour and a half.
I used to be an assistant manager of Game Crazy. You
The
remember
fuck's
that?
a Game Crazy?
What?
They used to be.
Attached
the
to Hollywood
Blockbuster.
Video.
Was it the
Hollywood Video, wasn't it? Or
was
no,
it Hollywood or Blockbuster?
It was Hollywood Video.
Really?
Fuck
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you don't know
Alright,
shit
We
about
don't
Game
have
Crazy.
Hollywoods here. We had one Hollywood.
We
that
had a
fucking
Hollywood here
cares.
back in the
That's
day.
why they
on
went out of
California.
business.
Yeah.
Did you have the whole like
I like
the
that
whole like chain link fence motif as well?
Yeah.
That's such a terrible
It's
motif for a game store. I went in there, it was like hell in a cell every
Oh,
time. I
shit.
didn't know what I was getting into.
Wait, Kevin.
Games are supposed to be urban.
Was that the Hollywood in your ceremony? You're right. All right, it was a Hollywood. You win everything. You're so fucking right, Greg.
Thank you, the coolest
Yeah.
dude in video game. Rest in peace, Colin Moriarty, bitten by a shark.
But he's still cool. But anyways, we're here. We're gonna be talking
New
about
York.
video games and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm real excited. All right, so
At first I thought it was a joke, but is it real? Is that how you answer every question in the affirmative? Yeah.
before we
I like
get
that
into
positivity. Yeah.
this is the Kind of Funny Games cast. It's pretty much the Game Over Greg show, but it's about video games. Day by day, we talk about whatever the hell we want to that has to do with video games. Monday through Thursday, broken up topic by topic at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. If you want the whole thing early, you can go to patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Pay some money, things will happen, and you will like it. Is this one worth that money?
Yeah.
Danny? Is it?
Always. Yeah.
It's not always, but this
Do you
one
wanna-
will be.
You know how I know? Because at some point I'm going to ask Danny to take his shirt off. And it's definitely going to be worth
Dan's
the
going
money.
to be worth that money. Yeah.
Danny's like a male model.
Oh my god.
Imagine if you bought really nice tube socks and you put a bunch of rocks in them. That'd be it, because you'd have, like the definition, like the muffle, the definition.
Really nice tube socks. Why do they need to be nice? Why not just tube socks?
Because then they're like nice and tight, and they're like in the shoot looking thing, and then you put the rocks in, you can see all the rock definition.
Yeah. Nick's arms have been looking like that
What
recently.
part? What?
I don't know how to describe muscles.
Have you seen muscles before?
Okay.
Thank you for the compliment, by the way, Tim. I
So,
appreciate that.
the first topic. No, before we begin at the top, we have so much other rigmarole. I did okay, but I fucked up one thing. I
You
didn't
didn't
mention
fuck up
this.
anything. You're having a
I
great
know.
time.
This Gamescast, sponsored by the Stealth Action Game. What's it called, ladies and gentlemen?
Volume.
It is called Volume.
Like
There you go. We
Bithel's
got the
Volume.
Beautiful, beautiful poster. I like it.
It's out now.
Yes.
Is that it?
Where's it out?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were doing your rigmarole.
I don't need to read it.
It's on PlayStation 4, of course.
It is.
PC is coming to PlayStation Vita eventually. You'll get it cross-buy if you buy it right now on PlayStation 4. Of course, this is the follow-up from Mike Bithell, the man who made Thomas Was Alone. It's already
Another
done
little-
better than Thomas Was
little
Alone
darling.
or whatever.
Good.
Andy Serkis is in it, along with some other actor. They always name checking that thing that I don't know.
just
It's
have the short
fun.
one written down,
Stealth
the long
gameplay.
one.
It's funny. You should get it. It's great.
Yeah, check it out.
I'll tell you something about Mike
There's a Let's
Bithell.
Play up on Kind of Funny Games. Yeah. Really
I've
nice
met
guy.
the man a couple times. And you ever meet someone and you instantly vibe with them?
Yeah.
Like, I have a pretty offensive manner, like a demeanor. I said something to him, and he fired right back, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be fast friends."
So
Fast friends.
when it
Something about a dick,
well,
like a
there's
big dick or something.
Fast people don't have friends; they have family. And Mike Bithell is family for sure. The cool thing about him is that you meet people and like you can define him by one word. He's cheery. He's the cheeriest
He is a very
motherfucker
cheery
that I've
guy.
ever met.
He's
And
a
then
cheery
he
guy.
makes games like Volume. So go check that out.
Very talented. You
Very, very talented. All right. So the first topic of the day. I'm sorry, Danny. You're not going to have much to say about this because you aren't
Get
addicted.
the fuck out of
yet.
here.
I'll just chime in with yes.
Yeah.
Why can't we stop playing Metal Gear Solid 5?
Because it's too damn good. The gameplay is too
Holy
good.
crap. So this game is very special for so many reasons. You okay, Portillo?
He's still getting over his bug, so sometimes
yeah,
he
something
takes
is-
Darth
what
Vader
is-
breath.
what's going on there?
That's a whisker. He has whiskers. So
No,
he
he's
can
got a
see.
little
has
fluff
one
out of
little
his
whisker.
mouth, too. He's
That's
got. He
some
ate.
fluff.
He it
Oh,
looks
there
like
it
he ate a chew toy.
Well, when you're fucking 3 inches from the ground, anything that's on the ground gets sucked up to your face. Ask Kevin.
God, yeah, you beat me to it.
All right, so Metal Gear Solid's taken over everything. Like it's taken over people that don't play games lives. Like Nick is
Yeah.
addicted to this shit.
Yeah, man.
Twitter, it's all anyone's
I
talking
get
about.
tweets about it all the time, and I get tweets from people who say, I never played a Metal Gear. This is the Metal Gear you've told me. You know, your Let's Plays, you guys talking nonstop about it, the Bombcast talking about it nonstop.
Yep.
And I'm totally hooked on it. Yeah.
But that's the thing, everyone is talking about it
Yeah.
nonstop. It's hard. I'm sure there's gonna be comments like, "Oh my god, you're talking about Metal Gear again." It's like, man, have you
Too
played
bad.
it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the moment you play it, you'll get it. You'll
Yeah.
understand why we can't stop talking about this. This is one of those few times that I miss still working at IGN because you'd go and everyone's talking about the same shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's like we have that. It's just really small, and then the internet makes it really big. But like from all my friends at IGN that I've been talking to, there's like, yeah, everyone's just fucking talking about it, and they're so addicted to it. The problem is, we have Colin Moriarty in the house.
Yeah. Mad
So,
Max, Mr. Mad Max.
He's
over
Mr.
there.
Mad Max, and it's just like, I always feel bad talking about Metal Gear with him because
I'm turning up my nose at the Metal Gear series.
Rest in peace, Cole.
yeah, he's dead and cool. But whenever he's around, it's like it's not that he sucks the fun out of it. It's that I feel self-conscious about being too, big about this game and talking about it too much or whatever. But then the moment like me, Kevin, and Nick will go to Starbucks, the entire walk is just talking about. And then in this mission, I did this. It's like, oh, in that mission, I did something
the
different.
next time you feel that, just remember one of the fucking 15,000 political topics where you and I have done this. And just fucking talk about Metal Gear.
I know. But I think there's a difference, though. Like, this is something that I know that we're all passionate about. And you,
Yeah.
what's your case on Metal Gear 5? Why aren't you playing it right fucking now?
So the reason why I'm not playing Metal Gear 5 is not because I don't want to play it. It's because I love the Metal Gear franchise. And I know if I play it, I'll stop working on the things that I need to be doing.
Your YouTube
because,
shows.
Yeah, the YouTube videos that I've been making and all the stuff that goes along with that. And if I start playing Metal Gear Solid 5, then I know I'm gonna get sucked in it, and I'm just gonna want to play that, and I'll just be thinking about, all right, so I can do this, or I can play Metal Gear Solid 5,
Yeah.
or I can sleep, or I can play Metal Gear
That was
Solid.
last night, yeah.
And I mean, that's every night. That's been every fucking night for me, where it's just like, I just want to do one more mission.
Here's what I want to rewind. And this goes for you too. When I came back from a week of playing Metal Gear and wouldn't shut up about it, my eye was all swollen and hurt from playing too much Metal Gear. Did you think did you chalk that up as that's just Greg being a Metal Gear fanboy, or did you think it was going to be as good as it is?
No. See, I saw you play the game, and I was like, "Fuck, this is gonna be fun." I just watching you doing the capture and watching the first the intro, notwithstanding, because that's so quintessential Metal Gear to me. Like, none of it made any sense to me, and
Yeah.
it took 15 or 20 minutes to just like crawl.
45.
It's like 45 minutes just to crawl out of a hospital. I was like, dude, this game's gonna be not my cup of tea. But then watching you actually start playing some of the
real
missions in
missions,
Afghanistan,
yeah.
I was like, dude, this looks like crack cocaine.
Did you sound like that when you said it?
But that's how everything in my brain sounds. But no, getting your hands on the control, this is the thing, like, you're right. So if you got something you need to do, stay as far away from that game as humanly possible, because it's got an addictive nature, an addictive element to it that I would not have thought it would have. I thought it was going to be a fun game.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, okay, this is going to be cool. I'll play it for like 4 or 5 hours. But the fact that I am literally like, oh, shit, I don't have time for a mission, but I think I could bang out a couple side ops
Yeah.
real quick. And then, of course, in typical Metal Gear fashion, that eventually turns into a mission. You're like, fuck, like, this is 2 hours. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And then it's 1 in the morning, and my wife's like, is there like a fucking war going on out here? No, but but it is one of those things that you're going to be up to. Like, if you start playing it at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, you're going until 2
You're
in the
going to
morning.
3.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
just
been my
happening.
nights. It's just, I keep playing till 3. Now, what's funny for me is on Gamescast, I'm a very big Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah.
I played all of them except Peace Walker, so I'm in the same position you're in. And I've talked so much, hearing you talk about this game. You came back and you're like, oh my God, I love it. That to me didn't sell it to me of like, oh, I'm going to love this, because you love Peace Walker.
Yeah.
You love the things that I didn't vibe with. And so I was just like, and everything you're saying about the story not being quite there, or not necessarily that, but that it wasn't the Metal Gear style story, and that it's all about doing these missions and the side ops and the mother base and this and that. I'm like, I tuned out. I'm just like, I don't want this. This sounds like an open world game that I'm not into. I don't like this stuff. And then I started playing it, and it's like, I am wrong on all of those fronts. Every single one of them. The story, totally, it is not Metal Gear Solid 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
It's Metal Gear Solid 5. It's a different thing, but it's still very satisfying. Every time there's a cutscene, I'm just as engrossed in it as I was the other games. And all the things I thought I'd hate, all the side missions and having the Fulton the people and like send people doing combat, I am addicted to it. And I think it's because the game is so good at rewarding the players for doing stuff and to teaching them and slowly unraveling all the deep systems of this game.
Yeah, exactly. That was always the thing when, like, Peace Walker, when I tried to show him that time and then talking to you about it or vice versa or whatever.
We did a Let's Play one time.
Where you jumped in and it was like, I was 90 hours into the game or 60 hours into the game and I had all the stuff unlocked and you're like, this is overwhelming. But I'm like, it's not like this. And the same thing with 5. You watch me or hear me talk about 5 and where I am now 95 hours into this game and it's not where you are 4 hours in. You know what I mean? They slowly give you things piece by piece.
It's so cool that like the way they do it, it's like you beat a mission and then it's like the mission unlocks stuff that mission had nothing to do with, but it's very clear. It's like, all right, now you have the horse, all right? And then 2 missions later, it's like, okay, you unlocked the dog or whatever. And now and as you go, it tells you how those things work.
Right.
And it's like, oh, your base is there's too cramped, there's too many people, you need to expand it. Here's how you expand it. And it's all simple shit. It's not rocket science. And it's also not as micromanagey as I worried it would be.
Yeah, Peace Walker was.
Unless you want it to be.
Yeah.
And then you can do that. Like, Kevin's crazy right now. And he's, like, trying to make sure that, like, they're all A's or B's.
Yeah, Kevin's
like,
kicking people out of his base.
Yeah, I am too.
He's like, there's too many D's
not-
in my base. I need anyway. Like he's got a B or above like mentality. At this point.
So the guys are ranked.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And
Everybody
they
had-
grow, they learn, they like change and do different stuff. And it's like
Interesting.
But over time, it's very overwhelming. But it's not when you actually play the game.
Yeah.
And it is addicting and it's fun. And you want to do the things that you go in not thinking you're going to want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best
that's
thing
a
about a
perfect
video
example.
game.
That's a perfect way to say it. Where the things that I saw you doing in those Let's Plays, I was like, I'm not gonna want to go around Fultoning people out. I'm not gonna want to go around doing base management. And then I started it, and it reminds me a lot of. And I know I talk a lot about this, but it reminds me of scanning planets in Mass Effect 2, where you're like, that looks so dumb, but I spent 20 hours doing it because it's kind of relaxing. It's not. There's no pressure to building your base. You just you get to sit back and upgrade weapons. You're like, this is fun.
I've done all the side ops, 157 done, and so now I'm just going through and S ranking everything, and I'm not even doing the mission objectives, right? Because I feel those conflict sometimes with getting S rank, which is get in unnoticed as fast and get out as fast as possible. But like the number of times where I'm in there, I'm like, all right, scan, and then I hit somebody and he's like all S's. And I'm just like, well, fuck, I'm just going to not even S-rank this mission. Now I'm going to capture everybody. I'm just bringing everybody home. And what are the mission tasks? All right. You know what I mean? Like that pivot on a dime because, you see something there that it's too tantalizing that you can't stop.
I know. And that's the thing. There's that, like, and they do that on purpose. And there's some really good game design elements in it where I feel like there's the one level that I beat a while, maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, was the one where you have to take down, like, you have 8 tanks or 8 vehicles. Armored vehicles.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to take all of them down. And then midway through, they're like, hey, boss, there's a prisoner in there that would be really awesome if you can. I'm like, I'm not getting that guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I'm not. He's dead. Like, I'm not going to do
buddy.
it.
I don't got time to go over there.
I got 3 tanks coming out. I'm planning my supply drops so they're en route as I'm going to the next tank.
Yeah.
I don't got time for this shit.
Yeah.
Something that's crazy to me about the game, though, is how repetitive it is. Where pretty much there's so many missions, and they're all the exact same thing.
And most of them are the same.
Take out heavy artillery number 11. You're like,
it's either take out a tank or it's Fulton this guy or kill this guy.
Right.
Like that's all. Those are really the 3 missions, and they just do them over and over. And every mission, you land the helicopter, then you have to run a ridiculously far length, or use your horse, or use something else. And then there's this base, and you need to infiltrate it and get the guy out, and then get back to the helicopter every single time. Watching streams of this, because randomly I've been looking into YouTube gaming stuff, so I just will peek over and look at stuff, and I see people stream Metal Gear, and I'm like, this is boring to watch. This is like, oh great, it's someone holding down the L3 button, watching Snake freaking run,
right,
for so long up mountains and doing stuff, and I'm like, this is so crazy because playing it is not repetitive at all. It is not any of that. It is so much fun, and I think that's kind of the brilliance of the game is that they allow you to just do the same things over and over, so you learn your play style and learn how you want to play the game. You can just do whatever the hell you want. Like, it's the best type of sandbox game. Because if you want to do something, it's pretty much possible, and it's not difficult.
The gameplay and the tools given to you are so much fun that, they just by giving you the same mission 14 times and tweaking placements or how many people or like like when you're doing like the end level tank ones where it's like there's 2 helicopters and there's 4 tanks and they can kind of see what I mean, like again giving you a little bit more every time. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
I mean, like yeah, I totally feel you and stuff. And it's like for me, I look back and I'm like 95 hours in, probably a little bit more than that. I haven't checked the time recently, but I tweeted over Sunday about 93 hours. So I know I'm past that for sure now. And it's one of those like, last night was the first night of like one of those gut checks of like, am I really going to platinum this? You know what I mean? I was doing Where Did the Bees Sleep Again, trying to S rank it right. And at the very end in the cavern, I got seen. I was like, fucking goddamn. You know what I mean? So then it was like, I left one mission task on the table because I wasn't expecting to get seen there. And I was going to try and fuck. And then I restarted it, and then I S-ranked it, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. You know what I mean? Like, there's those, like, moments of just, like, man, I feel like I wasted a lot of time here. But then going back and, like, again, the first time through when I was like, I'm going to S-rank it, but I also need to pick up all these guys who have all this other stuff, like, I didn't realize how much time I was burning. And so when I went back to do the mission again, and I was like, now's the S-rank playthrough, where it was, like, fucking just avoiding guys, and I shaved, like, 20 minutes off my time, and then had them out. And I think I even got... they went into an alert because somebody fell down at some point or whatever. And it was like, I still got the S rank. And that's a weird thing that I feel like the S ranks are attainable. Everything in the game, it takes a lot of work and it's a lot of stress and it's this, that, the other, but it's all obtainable, if that makes sense. Whereas I felt like even in Ground Zeroes, there was things where I'm just like, that seems really hard and not fun. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Whereas this one, it's like, all right, quiet kills me in one shot on the extreme battle. That's going to be tough, but I can do it. And I did it. You know what I mean? And I S-ranked and I was like, fuck yeah, all right. You know what I mean? Like, I can do all this if I put the time in, which is crazy.
See, I gotta go back. This is the crazy thing about the game. Like I obviously have blinders on when I play this stuff, and I'm not as tied into the community as you guys are by any stretch of the imagination. So when I got to the quiet stage, and I assumed it was quiet stage because I'd seen like just some of the trailers of her like with a sniper rifle. But I'm like, oh, it must be quiet. Maybe I'll get to her later. Because Miller's like, just get out of there, boss. I was like, all right. So I just booked it. Didn't get quiet.
but that's the cool thing about the game. You don't need to get quiet. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm going to go back and play that mission again, but unfortunately, it's tied into one of the longer story missions, so I'm still going through that mission. So I have to beat that first and then go back and do the side up.
But what's cool about it is that you can get quiet or not get quiet, and it doesn't matter really for like the core story. But what's awesome is you can go back and do it. Yeah. And I was talking to Kevin about this. You find if you go through and like you're trying to like get the S rank guys or the A rank people or whatever, and you get caught, and then your mission goes from I'm gonna be sneaky to fuck it, everyone's dying. Because there's always that moment.
Yeah, it goes to the Die Hard moment very quickly.
And that is a great sign to me of how much I like this game, because I just go in, I just want to fucking get to the end of the mission. Right. I don't care about ranking at all. I'm just blowing shit up. But every single mission, I start off trying to be sneaky until it changes, and like that's good. Like I'm trying to play the game correctly.
Yeah.
But
that's
what's
how
cool
I was
is
doing Ground Zeroes.
Just
go in quiet. Oh, I got seen. All right, mowing everybody down.
Now you all die.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's like once that happens, you kill all the fucking A rank people that you wanted to get. You can always just do the mission again and get the people.
Well, I mean, as you come back, right, it all dynamically shifts.
Yeah.
So that's why now that I'm out there, I'm seeing so many S's, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I gotta all this goddamn S. You know what I mean? Because that's what I need. Like, I have the same thing of where I go through, and it's like, I'm so close to expanding the combat unit and medical base to the final platforms. I just need fucking more fuel resources, which is driving me goddamn crazy. It's just, but I'll go through. In that, I cheated a little bit, because if you do FOB, you can get the early ranks of them, and then you're expanding without expanding the mother base. You know what I mean? Like, you're still bringing in more people to use, which is great. But it fucked me over that I burned resources there that I should have gone into just finally maxing out mother base. Anyways. That diatribe. But like now, yeah, it's like I go through and I'm like, I'll keep everybody who has an A+ around, but everybody else needs to get the fuck out because I just don't even want to fuck with this shit right now. You know what I mean? And then once I expand the bases to their final thing, then it becomes, like, fuck it, it's only S's now. Like, you all need to go.
Jesus, my base is like the summer school to your base.
Well, no, but that's just where I was. That's just the thing. Yeah. It's like you have to level up the int scope, right, or whatever, so that you can see A's and A+, and then eventually S's and all that stuff. And when you're S ranking missions, get people who volunteer for it that are S's.
Yeah, well,
they come out and they're like, oh, I need.
How crazy does this all sound to you?
It sounds like Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's good.
Mother Base, does that actually play an integral part to the story? Like like in Mass Effect 2, you have the Suicide Squad or the Suicide Mission, and if you don't like level up your entire ship, then like people will die.
Sure.
So is it like that? If you don't have it at a certain level, then something changes
Please don't spoil this.
Yeah, that's the line I walk with.
Okay,
this one.
yeah, then maybe
Because I'm assuming that's something like could be based on what happened in Ground Zeroes. Like I'm assuming something's gonna happen with Mother Base at some point.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
I mean,
all a dream.
spoilers aside, from a
is it weird?
gameplay perspective, that's where all of your weapon development comes from, and all of your like item development and tool development. So it's like you need to do that to be able to get better at the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
It's
to
like-
level it up.
It's like leveling up your character. You level up your base. You level up your
Yeah, so like
The base is what levels up the
Yeah,
character.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
you have like research and development teams.
Yeah.
They're the ones that you're leveling up. They make you weapons.
Okay, that
yeah,
makes
if
sense.
you level up your intel platform, for instance, like the better that is, the more when you go out into the field,
They'll see stuff
you'll
for you.
see stuff. So like all of your resources that you need to go ferret out, it'll just be on your map. You're like, oh shit, I might buy like a big thing of diamonds or whatever. I'll go get it. So
Okay.
it gets surprisingly, it's already gotten easier, I think, a little bit.
Oh,
'Cause
sure,
What
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying
yeah,
is true. Like the game dynamically shifts when I go out there now. Where I was just seeing people that were straight E's and D's.
Yeah.
I carried a dude around that had like a B in intel and medical for like 20 minutes trying to find a place where I could like had open air. So I was like, I'm just gonna carry this dude because this guy's a good find.
I need this guy.
I need this guy.
No, and that's the thing about going back now to S rank them, and I'm going back and playing these missions that I remember
Right.
you see on Kind of Funny Games that I'm struggling with, and now you just walk in there and you know not even their movements, but you just know how the game is and what the mechanics are. So you just run up there, and I have this silent sniper, so it's just. And I'm like, I don't even headshot anymore. What I do is I just shoot everyone in the arm. And then by the time one drops, the other goes, and it's like dominoes down the line where they all fall passing out, but they all realize something's wrong, but they can't do anything. And then I just walk over casually.
So you fuck with them.
I wormhole Fulton everybody out, so it doesn't matter if you're in a building or not, because you just go up 1 foot and then you're into a black hole.
What the fuck's a wormhole, Fulton?
Yeah, it opens a rift in space and time that the guy goes through, and then it shuts.
You're joking.
No, so then it's easier that you
That's
don't you
awesome.
have less. They don't get a chance to yell, so nobody gets to hear them, and it's not as visible. It is visible that people can see it around there, so
Yeah.
don't do it right in front of somebody. But like,
God, that's so awesome.
Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's Metal Gear.
so yeah, now, and that's the whole thing of like the payoff of both this Metal Gear and Peace Walker, and like a lot of them, right? The longer, but I think mission based ones especially. So Peace Walker and 5,
so,
and I used to even
Ground
Ground
Zeroes.
Zeroes, right? Is the more you play, the more the more you play the stuff, the more you feel like Big Boss. The
Yep.
more you feel like this legendary soldier. Where in the beginning, like they joke around about it, right? Of like, you gotta get back in the field. It's all coming back to you, boss, and da 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 da. And now it is like, I have a fucking gold arm. I fucking watch these people take them all out. Nobody knows what's happening. They have no idea that they're even being attacked, and like everyone's being raped and pillaged.
Yeah, I mean, that shit fucking happens.
You understand that, by the way. My wife watched me play this for like 2 hours, and she's like, "This is a weird game. What's going on here?" And
like,
she's
"I'm not
like,
even
"Where
gonna
do
try,
those
huh?"
guys go that you're attaching the balloons to?" And I was like, I'm just talking to her. I was like, "Oh, they go back to my base where one of my guys brainwashes them, and then they work for me like without asking any questions. And then if they get out of line, I go choke them until they ask for it harder." And she's like, "What the fuck is happening in this
Yeah.
game?"
That is like the whole
really weird.
brainwashing thing. I always give them a pass on because they're just PFs. They're just private forces or whatever. So they're just working for the highest bidder. They get there. We're fighting for something great. That's easy enough to. And some get thrown in the brig and they have to be coerced. Whatever. But it's the ones who like. Why don't I just have a salute button? Why
Yeah.
do I have to beat the fuck out of everyone at Mother Base? Like, all right, like. And this is the best is like when I'm just trying to do this one thing that I did on the medical platform that's a Let's Play up that's labeled huge spoiler. But like I'm just running back there, I'm just trying to finish this fucking thing, and it's just like you run up, it's like hi, like I'm like curb stomping people's face into the bars of Mother Base.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, I know, right. Thanks, boss.
The worst is when you come across Kevin in the game, where you go to choke him, and he's like, "Oh, boss, harder." He like asks for it harder, and you're like, "God damn it, get away from
I've
me,
never
Kevin."
heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
When I
you
get
just
something in
punch him, that's
chokehold,
why.
it's just ting 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 ting, and I don't have ever hear it.
If you interrogate him, the guy goes, they'll tell you where shit is around your base, but then 1 out of every 5 guys is like, "It's an honor to be held in your grip, boss." And if you do it again, he goes, "Harder."
Nice.
It's disgusting.
But 90% of the time, they're just like, someone left a bunch of diamonds everywhere.
Yeah.
What the hell?
You're like, "Go get the diamond, put it in my safe."
Yeah, I know. You understand? We need this, right? Get the
Yeah.
GMP, and will somebody fucking go find fuel?
Yeah.
I got biological material coming out my underwear. Can I please
Oh
get
my God.
some fucking fuel resources up in this
hilarious.
piece? And
Oh
this
my
is where it
God.
all comes back to. I talked about this on Colin and Greg Live today, and I talk about it a lot of just how like microtransactions are a dirty word. You know what I mean? I would pay Konami straight up right now for fuel resources. Let me just finish it. You know what I mean? Because like I get what I'm doing and I understand it's not for me, it's just that delayed gratification. I'm gonna get to it eventually. I'm gonna eventually on the road when I'm doing all these S ranks find the rest that I need to max out these 2 things. But it's like, come on, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's where things get a little tricky because it's not difficult to get it in game, but it's also not that easy.
Right.
So I think the microtransactions.
I also haven't done the great Google that I need to do of just like
Where the fuck do
fuel
I find
resource
it?
glitch. Broken fuel. Because I'm sure there's some mission you can do in 2 seconds that you just load
keep
and
loading
load
it,
and load, but I just haven't gone and done it.
Figure that out. Yeah. Another thing that I think is really cool about this game is it reminds me of playing Grand Theft Auto 3, where I started to become really familiar with the city. So it's like when you're doing the different missions, you're like, oh, I know that rock. You know what I mean? Or it's like I've been to this base before or whatever. So it's like you get familiar just with like the terrain, and it's just weird how you start feeling more like Big Boss as you're playing, and it's just like you just understand the game better.
Right.
Well, for me, it's been fascinating. Just given the fact that zero context in the Metal Gear series coming in, like you guys are all talking about the differences and the nuances of the voice acting, and I'm just like, none of it matters to me because to me, David Hayter's not Snake. To me, I don't know what Snake is, right? I just have zero.
It's this guy.
It's a blank ground for it. Well, I like Kiefer Sutherland also, so I bring that.
I got nothing against Kiefer.
You know,
I have everything.
I'm a big Lost
Wish you would
Boys
have done
fan.
more for the game. I wish you would have been in a little bit more of the game.
I heard he doesn't talk much.
He
doesn't.
does. It's like this is not Snake. This
People talk
character,
to
at
him
least
a
as
lot.
far as I've played, and I have put maybe 20 hours in. Like he said, maybe like 3 things.
Are you listening to the tapes?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of the tapes,
Yeah.
but I don't know who the fuck's talking.
A lot of the tapes don't have him in it either.
Like my biggest critique of Metal Gear is the fact that Snake's not Snake, and my second biggest critique is the story. The lack of Metal Gear isms, even though there is stuff. My third is the fact that there's no codex conversations.
Yeah.
It's all cassette conversations, which whatever, it's the same fucking thing. The difference is you don't see the people.
Yeah.
So you'll hear people talking, and between Miller and Ocelot and Snake, they all sound close enough that if you don't see them talking, you're not really clear who's talking.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that doesn't sound like just a me problem.
Yeah.
No, I mean I have it. It's because Troy sounds like whoever does the voice acting for Miller sounds a lot like Troy. So, like, and for me with zero context, I thought Ocelot was talking to me for a while until Greg was like, "No, that's Miller that's talking to me." I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that."
It's we had this conversation in the car yesterday, and then when I was playing last night, I stopped and listened. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And it's just probably one of those things that I'm just way too close to it.
You are.
I've played too much of the game. I know Troy's voice too well, but it's just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no,
Troy has
I
like
just
a
think Troy
southern
did it all.
drawl to it. Troy did all
I
of
just
it?
assumed. Well, no, I thought that Troy did a different voice for
Miller.
I mean,
So I just thought
that's
that-
how like weirdly to me that does sound that way.
I'm
Because
not saying you're
for me,
crazy. I'm just saying for me, I couldn't catch it.
It sounds like Troy. Like Ocelot is Troy.
Yeah.
And Miller sounds like Troy making a voice.
Yeah. No, granted, I mean, this is the other thing that I'm blown away by is just in general. Metal Gear is weird. It's quirky. It's strange. And
what's fun about it.
if you look at it from an outsider's perspective, like I used to have, I was like, this game doesn't make any sense and it's stupid. Going into it, the nuances, those little tiny things that are quirky, are the fun part of it, and it's all done so well that it almost threw me off. Where I'm like, it's like watching a cult classic movie that's really, really well done, but you just don't get it for some reason at first, and then you watch it like 5 years later, and you're like, oh, okay, these were all intentional. Like the way of telling stories, the kookiness of it a little bit kind of all builds into the world that Kojima's created. But the production value is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that when you're talking about going in bases where I'm like, I have a feel for it now. I know how to sneak around people now. Now I'm going from kind of being scared of the game to going like, I'm going to own this fucking level. And even if shit goes down.
And that was the thing going back to last night for me. I'm doing Where the Beast Sleep or whatever, and like you're talking about, I knew the perfect path to get up, and then it's the one with the basically I always call it like the giant pit because I always approach from the top, and then there's the ruins in the back, and it's all maze like or whatever, right? But I remember playing that the first time with Peeler, and then going through and doing side ops there, and it was always that I'm coming in, and it's like, fuck, I think, okay. And then, oh shit, he sees him.
The one with the tank was hard because it's in the middle.
There's always something that seemed to go wrong. You know what I mean? At the very end, and I'd have that or whatever. And then, like, last night, I just came in and it was just pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
well,
it
like, helps when you have a super leveled up silenced sniper rifle.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And like, even not even
I got a
using
freaking an SMG.
You're
with
missing the point of the story. I'm saying yes, coming back hours later to this thing that was like I remember being challenging, and now it's just like you fucking wipe out everybody.
Yeah, and that's fun. That's a good moment.
The best thing about the game, the best compliment I can give it, is that it makes you feel like so many times, like you feel like a badass or whatever. But when you're early on in the game, or where I'm at, when you face a hard level and like you're sneaking, you're like, I don't know how the fuck to do this. When you're there and someone's walking by, there is nothing like that stress and that tension you feel. Where in real life you're not moving. You know what I mean? And it's like that's when you know a video game's doing good is when it's fucking with you in real life.
Dude, at least you don't have, like when you go home now to your place that because you moved to a new place and no one's there, at least you got that. I got a wife and I love my wife. And I give her a lot of shit on the show, but she's an amazing human being. She doesn't get the video game etiquette, though. And especially when I'm sneaking around, it's dark. She's trying to talk to me. She's doing the thing like, gets up, walks in front of the screen as people are like right as I'm like trying to just cheat around a rock while someone else is walking this way. She just walks in front. It's booming, and I'm like, God, woman.
Yeah, that's what I love about Christine. That she gets it.
She gets it.
Last night I was sitting in bed playing it, and she's reading a book next to me, and so she just eventually she's like, "So do you have to listen to these cassettes for like the story for the game?" And I'm like, "Well, no. Like I already know a story. They give you a little bit more. You know, I've just been playing now because I want to clear them all off, but I do want to listen to every one of them, and I'm almost through." And she's like, "No. Do you have to listen like for a trophy tonight?" And I was like, "Oh no. Oh, you're trying to read a book. Sorry. Yeah." She can deal with like the grass and the helicopters and like there's no shooting usually.
Right.
Knock on wood. But like hearing Ocelot and Miller tell us what the fuck's going on in Afghanistan, she's like, Don't need to hear that right now.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys. Moving on. Topic number 2 of the day is Super Mario Maker.
The Metal Gear Killer, we call it.
It is the Metal Gear Killer. It killed me playing as much as I wanted to last night.
I was going to say, this is the problem. It came out right, and we're still in a Metal Gear mode, but we have to play this game as well.
So, have you played any Mario Maker?
Not yet, no.
Are you familiar with the Mario Maker?
It looks freaking awesome.
Holy shit. It is such a good game. Yeah. And the thing is, it is a game. I am very happy with how much they have made making a game a game. Like, actually making the courses and stuff and having, the way that they teach you how to do this stuff. The first time you boot it up and, like, you have to make a stage and the way that they teach you, it feels like a video game. Even creating the stuff feels like it. And I love that. And then you play the levels and it's like, this is fucking Mario. And the subtleties that they add and like the people, I am obviously very hardcore Mario fan. Mario is probably my favorite franchise ever. And it's just like, this does to Mario what Smash Bros does to Nintendo in the sense that this is like a museum and history of Mario in one thing. Yeah. And all the different options you can do for all the different gameplay styles there's Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario World, and New Super Mario, Wii U or whatever the fuck. The differences between that stuff. This game is so much deeper than I gave it credit for.
Interesting.
That's off my first impressions. What do you think about that?
Deeper?
Yeah.
Than what you thought it was? I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was. You know, I mean, I played it at events here and there, obviously. And when you're playing at events, it's just like, oh, it's Mario. Okay, drop and do stuff. It's easy, whatever. But to sit down and, you know, Christine and I streamed on her channel the other day and played for like 5 hours, something in a row. You know what I mean? Or in a row. I don't know why I sat there and played it. You know what I mean? And it's a weird game because I'm playing it and we're doing all the Nintendo, you know, you have 10 live things where you're playing the Nintendo-made stages.
The 10 Mario challenge.
Thank you, yeah. Enjoying that, jump in to create stuff. And I think my disconnect was I never ever played a Mario and thought, I wish I could make a Mario stage. Yeah. So when I jump into like now create, it's like I don't no. It's like I try. I just keep going in because I want to unlock everything because I want it all to be there. Because eventually I'm going to have this idea of like, oh, what if I do want to do something, so just have it all there. But playing it was a weird first impression because I jumped in expecting what we got in our Mario Let's Play, where when Nintendo passed us the controller, there was all those courses lined up to play, and that isn't there. There's no menu that has that. Those levels that are built by Nintendo are built into the 10 Mario Challenge or whatever. And so when I figured that out and I was playing through those, I was like, oh, this is great. How much fun. Okay, cool. And then we went on to, play random levels, played a few of those, like they're hit or miss, whatever. And then it was like, wait, Drucker tweeted. So we went and found Drucker's level and played that, and it was punishing and brutal, and he fucking sucks. But I played it. I played it for like 45 minutes till I beat it on the stream. And then it was like, that's awesome. And somebody's like, Miles from Rooster Teeth just put one up. I'm like, fuck, and like we went that way and fell down that hole of like playing Miles, playing Jeff from Giant Bomb, playing, you know what I mean? Like playing all these people that we knew and stuff. And I was like, that's really fun. And a weird thing happened where stream ended. Went to Eric Castro's house that night, our friend, of course, master bartender from Follow the Leader. He had just bought it. We played it where we passed the controller on like 7 people who were there drinking, having fun. Where somebody dies, pass the controller, and try the next one. And I remember during the stream I had said, this is fun. and it strikes me as Mario Kart for the Wii, which Mario Kart for the Wii was, I love Mario Kart. Mario Kart comes out for the Wii. It was my birthday, so I bought it, and then we had a whole bunch of people over to the house, popped it in, played it for a weekend, and never touched it again. And that's what I said this felt like for Mario Maker. And the weird thing is, I woke up the next day after Eric Castro's, and I was hungover as shit, and I was like, kind of feel like I had planned to play Metal Gear and do S ranks and stuff. I'm like, kind of feel like playing Mario Maker, and I popped it in, and then I was like, fuck it, let's see what the community is, and I jumped into community levels, and they all were terrible.
Yeah,
I tried to do the 100 Mario challenge, which is the one where they bring in
Random
16 levels or whatever from it, and you can hold the minus button and skip a level without losing a life. And I found myself doing that so much, and I'm like, this is a shitty way of doing this.
Yep.
This is a discovery method nightmare.
So, I mean, the game has many flaws.
Yeah.
It's just the way Nintendo designs games is different, and I feel like this is a perfect example of a lot of that. But the good stuff's in there. You just got to avoid the bad
Sure,
stuff.
and
right?
I don't want that to be the note I leave my impression.
Oh,
on.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, but I even came away with the same thing where it's like, yeah, the 100 Mario challenge is dumb. The 10 Mario challenge is
Great.
awesome.
Yeah.
But what you were saying about the levels not being unlocked or whatever, it's weird that they did it this way, but you just need to play the 10 Mario challenge over and over and over, and then you unlock all those levels that way.
But where are they? I don't even know.
They go to the course. You can save anytime you play a level. You can save it.
Uh-huh.
So once you play it, like,
But where do I find it?
There's I don't. There's,
See, I mean,
but
I
there's
know that there's
that menu
stuff
we
there.
saw. It's
Yeah.
wherever you save all your levels. Like
Okay.
you have a your levels thing that you can save them all, and from there you can save worlds. So you can make a whole game with it.
Yeah.
You can like name the levels 1, 1, 1, 2, 1,
Yeah,
3,
yeah,
and 4, and then have a world 1 folder, and then it goes in there, and so then you can make the whole game. What really got me though was going online and instantly realizing 99% of these suck ass.
Yeah.
Like but that's people, right? People are dumb and they do these levels that have no real thought put into it, and that's it. But then when you look at the featured ones and the like featured creators,
Yeah.
did you play around with that at all?
I went to the most popular or whatever they were at the time, and they were all like the fucking Rube Goldberg machine.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, well, this isn't even a Mario level.
So, well, that's the thing. The biggest thing going on right now is people make these elaborate levels.
Don't
that,
touch anything, and
yeah.
you just move around and like
like
motion
springs
them.
are
Yeah,
bouncing
yeah.
them around and stuff. So it's like you don't need to play it all; it just kind of bounces them through the level.
Oh,
and
that's fun.
It looks really cool, but you can just watch a YouTube video of it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you don't need the
Right.
game for this.
Sure.
But what's cool about that is the level design. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And seeing that, and as
That's
dumb
what
as,
that's what my brain kind of goes to. Is like, oh, I make a level where you just start and then you slide and that's it, and then
Yeah.
everything else is just taken care of by the
I
person.
mean, and
You-
that's what it is. But then they add all these like crazy hazards, so it looks like he's in a lot of danger, but like it's not because it's a predetermined physics thing.
right.
And what's cool about that though, like watching him, it's like, oh, this is dumb because that's all it is. But it's like then you start to understand on a deep level the limitations of the game and how the game works and the cool things you can do.
Yeah.
So then when you make your own levels, it's like, all right, that pushed him this way. If I do this, that's how the game will play, right? And you see that being put into some of the like expertly created levels
Sure.
in the featured thing. So the way they have it set up, it's like there's different playlists of things, and all the popular ones are those Rube Goldberg things. But which by the way, who is that guy? How come he
He
gets
made the
credit?
machines that never. I mean, it was like an art style of machines that have constant motion.
Yeah, okay. Because he gets a lot of credit for this
Well, he
shit.
deserves it because he did it.
Good for him. But then there's the ones that I got really into was the featured creators. Because then you go into them, they have the different styles and stuff.
Right.
And then you're like, oh shit, these are the guys that are making real levels and like real challenges that have thought and design.
How do you get to be one of those guys?
You just
It just makes them
it's
really
an
good,
upvote
and
thing.
everyone just
Yeah.
upvotes it.
And it's cool because there's like a bunch of guys up there that I was like, I'm like bookmarking this. I'm gonna
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
keep going back to this guy because
They make that easy. That was our thing. I favorited all our friends, and I've gone back, and Drucker's made more. And Jeff's
Yep.
made more. It's like, oh, okay.
So it's like it's definitely a community thing, and it's definitely a game that's going to grow over time. Like you, I have no interest in making levels myself.
Yeah.
Like it's just not my interest. I would love to mess around, make some stuff with Nick, and then just have us play. You know,
It's gonna be very phallic.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to make a level that's just one just ode to penis. You know what I mean?
No,
There's got to be people out there that have. I want to make one. And my brain
There's
just thinks
been
of like
penis levels already.
making. Like, can you have mushrooms float in space? Because I'd like to make just a giant penis with the mushrooms, and you can only get a few of them. You know, you can't get the
Yeah,
whole
you can
thing.
make mushrooms sit there. I mean, Mike Drucker spelled that fart in coins.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then I'll do coins. I'll do a big.
Well, no, you can
coin
do. I
dip.
mean, like that was the thing. The reference to what I was saying too is like my favorite thing, and what I was so stoked about is I wanted to play everything in the Mario world, lens, and that's not unlocked at the get. I guess that's one of my things I got to get as I go through.
Wait, what does
when
that
you
mean?
make the levels,
Right.
Yeah.
So
Super Mario World.
Oh, you want to do it in Mario World style?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, so I'm playing on day one, and nobody had that unlocked yet. You know what I mean? I was playing this on Friday, infancy of what's happening. So don't get me wrong, I'm like brushing it off that it's all garbage. I know cream will rise to the top.
Yep.
And you never eat a pig because a pig is a
but
cop.
there is a
or better
lot.
yet, a Terminator.
Oh my
but
God.
yeah,
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
yeah, trying to play me out as if my name was Sega.
But I ain't going out like no punk
God.
bitch.
This happens every once in a while. That was good though.
Thank
Damn, you know too many lyrics.
I know.
Dude, he knows. I was playing fucking Genesis yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm in this big Genesis kick right now.
I thought he meant playing.
Yeah, I know,
Genesis.
right?
No, I'm sorry. I was playing some of the
Phil
Phil
Collins
Collins, group, ex Peter Gabriel group, and you just started singing one of the songs, and I was like, this is literally
Jamie Kennedy, big fan of Genesis.
It was like it's the third time ever. It was like not even like one of their popular ones. It was one of their like obscure songs, and you knew it.
I don't know which one it was, yeah. But no, I mean, I know that there's going to be more
Yeah.
and there's going to be better, and like, you know what I mean, like, and that was what was so amazing is the levels we did find that were awesome. The level where you start off as Zero Suit Samus, and then you get the power up, and you're in the Metroid suit, and you're running. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I was like, I kept trying to shoot, and I couldn't shoot. And I was like, oh, that sucks. But I'm like, somebody's gonna figure this out soon enough.
Yeah.
With fireballs. To make,
Well, so that's what's interesting. I do think it's a big problem of how much crap there is, but for just general users, because they're not going to understand how to do a lot of this stuff. But when you look at the featured creator stuff and the things they're doing with all that amiibo support, and the fact that the amiibo support, you don't even need the amiibos, you unlock the stuff through the game. And it's just like there's like hell of characters. Any Nintendo character is playable in this game, and that's amazing. And to see the things that people are doing, I was playing a Mario Kart level because Mario in the cart is one of the things with all the sound effects and stuff, and it's just a level that's based on like using the like what are those things called? They're like escalators.
Oh, like treadmills.
Treadmills. Yeah. So just you go really, really, really fast. There's like ramps and stuff, and it's like it starts feeling like Mario Kart, even though it's the same physics as Mario.
Yeah.
And so that's insane. And then playing like Metroid levels or playing Donkey Kong levels where you're Donkey Kong and there's vines everywhere. And it's just like, man, these motherfuckers are remaking Mario 64 levels in 2D.
And that was the thing when they announced it of like, I've already lived this with Little Big Planet where they put out Little Big Planet and there was a bunch of crap and then people started getting the feel for it and then they started breaking it and expanding it in the way of like where Little Big Planet 2 was, all right, you can make games, right? Because you were already doing that. You broke the tools in a way to do this. You know what I mean? Like, so like what people are going to do with this is amazing. And I can't wait for it. And that's why it's exciting and why I will, like I'm talking about it. I have an itch to go back. Today on Colin Moriarty Live, right? Somebody in the chat was like, you should play one of my levels. And I was like, oh, yeah, maybe we will. And then they sent over the thread from kindoffunny.com/forums where all the best friends have posted it. And I'm like, this is a Let's Play series right here. If not, I mean, like, we're doing Let's Plays tomorrow. Let's do it. And then if we don't do them all, let's do stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather play the stuff from people I know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's the cool thing is like a lot of our friends on Twitter are making levels and doing that stuff and seeing these feature creators that I'm now I'm gonna follow on Twitter because I'm like you're fucking cool.
Yeah,
it's definitely something special. And beyond that stuff, like I'm a Mario nerd. I love all the Mario games, and I can tell you the differences between them and like the physics and like why it feels different or whatever. And I love that this game did that because early on it was just Mario Maker or Super Mario. Which one is it now? It was just Mario Maker. Yeah, and you could switch between the original Mario or New Super Mario U or whatever.
Yeah,
but it didn't change the physics, and it didn't add all the different types of jumps.
Oh, so now it actually feels like those different games.
So now Mario 1 feels like 1, 3 feels
That's
like 3. It has
crazy.
different jump arcs, and like World has the spin jump. So does New Super Mario Bros. U. It has the wall jump. So it's like the levels aren't just. It's not just the way it looks. It's the gameplay is different.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was what was weird. Can you still switch between them on the fly or no?
You can switch between them, but there's some limitations and some things don't exist in the other stuff.
I think some levels seem like they lock it, right? Because when we were playing Miles' level from Rooster Teeth, Christine started and died, and then I did it, and I died a little bit later, and then she came back and tried to pick up a turtle shell and died, and I was like, I don't think you can do it in this version of the game. And Miles tweeted back at us because he was watching. He's like, yeah, you can't. That's the whole reason I chose this, because I don't want you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's
Well,
fascinating.
yeah. So Mario 1, you can't pick up the turtle shell, but you can in the other ones.
Yeah.
But Mario 1's the only one that has the amiibo support and like the different sprites and characters and stuff. And it's cool the rules within each of those different things. Now, as a super hardcore like nerd dude that loves the history of this stuff, they went back and they added stuff that wasn't in the original games in the style of the original games. So like the original Super Mario didn't have Boos, the ghosts. but now it does, or chain chomps. But they did them in the 8-bit style of Mario 1. Or there was no ghost house levels in Mario 1. Now there's a ghost house with its own soundtrack that is similar in feel to the Super Mario Bros. 1 music, but it's a ghost song, you know? Or Super Mario World never had an airship, but it has a Super Mario World sounding airship song. And it's just like, these little things, I'm like, holy shit. Like, there was so much thought put into it.
Now, are there people actually making, like, games?
So
like, designing levels to a point where you would actually be like, this is, like, 20 levels makes a game.
This is where my bigger critique of the game comes into play. And I think a lot of people are mad about this. And it's upsetting when you think, like, initially. But I think then later when you realize what this game isn't about making a game.
Sure.
It's about making levels. And that is really determined by the fact that there's not checkpoints in this. You can't put a checkpoint in the level.
Sure.
So Mario World was based on checkpoints. Like, those levels were huge with all these sprawling paths and stuff because halfway through you could, you know, whatever. And then games are designed where the game over levels teaches you mechanics so that you know how to use them in the harder levels, right? This game isn't made for that because the levels can only be so long. Even if you have like doors and warp pipes and stuff, they can only be so long and there's no checkpoints. So they don't have enough time to teach you how to use the different mechanics in one level. Right. So what this game,
you're saying like progression is just it's too hard given the tools.
Yeah, and I mean people are going to do it. People are definitely they already are putting series of levels together. They're like, oh, if you play all these, it's a game. But I think that that's almost I mean, you can do whatever you want, but like I feel like that's misusing this tool set because this and playing the Mario 10 Mario Challenge really kind of propels this as a theory where it's supposed to be each level is supposed to be a small challenge. Like each level is supposed to you need to learn how to beat the level and overcome the challenge in that one contained thing.
Mario 10 is and this almost sounds like a knock, but it's not. Like it's like WarioWare, right? In the way of like, hey, here's this. The big challenge you're dying at is the big challenge of the game. It's not like you're gonna get past it and have another huge thing.
Exactly, and so that's the thing is it's like I was playing it. I played through like 4 or 5 rounds last night of the 10 Mario thing, and every time it's different levels.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are remixes of old existing levels, but with one real big challenge in it. And so it's like that challenge is the challenge. And then you beat that and move on to the next level. And for me, it's a little off-putting because it's like I want that Mario experience of like beating the game. You don't beat this game. You just beat levels.
Yeah.
This feels like, and from what I noticed from all the marketing material from this, right off the get-go, I was like, this feels a lot like a Mario version of Little Big Planet, and you know that you can create your levels, but it almost seemed like when I was looking at it, it almost seemed a little bit more limited. In that, I mean, it is just the what's the word I'm looking for? That it is just like smaller levels. I remember when I heard that there was no checkpoints, I was wondering. It's not really. It doesn't seem like it's a full. It's meant to be like a typical Mario game. It seems like it's just levels, it's just supposed to be a sequence of levels. Yeah, which almost seems more like mini games.
Right.
I mean, but that's kind of what it is. But I don't think that's a bad thing, and I think it's easy.
I can see how people would have a negative reaction.
Well, but the thing is that
if they're expecting something like,
but that's the thing is like when people hear what a game doesn't have, that's the thing they jump on, and they're just like, well, why it doesn't have this? But the thing to keep in mind is checkpoints. If you're gonna look at that shit, checkpoints weren't in Mario 3. They weren't in Mario 1.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if you're gonna break it down to the sum of its parts, like the original Mario games were just a bunch of levels kind of thrown together with some very thin veil of story elements in there where you're supposed to go save. Now, granted,
we're not talking story though. We're talking gameplay.
Right, but to your point, like there is that feeling of accomplishment as you're progressing through and as you're learning. Like you're very subtly being taught those new skill sets of how to traverse the landscapes that you might not. I think are people not getting in this one. Is that what they're reacting to?
What you're missing from Tim's thing is like the 10 Mario challenge. Perfect. Here's the big challenge. You've done it. Over. Awesome. The levels I'm getting frustrated with when I play a creator's one is like I'm head into the wall over and over. Finally, I get over it. And guess what? 2 steps later, there's a blind jump you had no idea you needed to be running. So now go back to the thing you were running your head into. Run into that again. Get past that challenge. Then figure this next one out. And is there going to be another one? Probably, because this creator's a dick.
Yeah.
Sounds like Mega Man.
It's not, no, but that's the thing, though. It's not Mega Man. Mega Man, there's like philosophy put into it. There's design put into it. It's every challenge is able to be beat. There is a clear answer to how to move on. What Greg's talking about, because this is what Mario Maker is right now. It's a bunch of people that are making levels that aren't fun at all. It's like, why would you even do that? There's like,
how good are you? This is your skill test. And like fucking blade.
Then there's levels that are just like spelling things out with coins. There's the Rube Goldberg things, and then there's these levels that are just there's danger everywhere, and it's not a game. It's just hell. It's just fucking bullshit. I'm just gonna fucking put a bunch of shit everywhere and like see what the fuck happens. And it's like, that's not fun. There's no design there. It's just a bunch of shit. You know what I mean?
Do those pop up in the 10 Mario challenge?
No,
Not in the 10,
Mario,
but in the
Mario
100.
challenge ones are made by Nintendo.
Okay.
And like they're not hard. Some of them are. Some of them aren't. But
a reasonable challenge, not hard for the sake of being.
I guess like challenge might not even be the best word, because like we're saying it has one big challenge, but it has a gameplay element. There's something about it that it's like, oh, this is the point of this level. This is the design of this level.
It's a succinct sentence, whereas some of these created levels are a paragraph.
Yeah.
Where you can get lost in the paragraph of what the point is.
Yeah, it's really interesting because what you're talking about is at the core of what Nintendo's best at doing, right? Which is making a first-party game that is a piece of art. It's so well done and so perfect in its simplicity that it just has that addictive quality that makes you want to keep replaying it and keep progressing through the game. And what you're describing to me, and I haven't played Mario Maker yet, I'm assuming we will this week at some point, is the opposite of that. It's the raw tool sets and empowering people who maybe don't have that skill level and who don't come through from that amazing school of that lineage of art that Nintendo has cultivated throughout the years that can then go forth and present that sort of gameplay to people.
Well, so what I think is really going to be awesome to see from this is the fact that Nintendo is like one of the most protective of its IP. You know, they don't let other people make Mario games. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so far, it's always been Nintendo making these things. They know how it works. There is rules, and they follow these design rules and stuff, and that's why the games are amazing. But what's really going to be interesting is to seeing the people, like not the people that are just fucking around, but the actually talented, skilled people make levels that are outside the box of Nintendo, that are even weirder, that are a little bit more edgy, that have more like just like wouldn't do things that Nintendo would do because they're either too challenging or not, you know, mainstream appeal and all that stuff. It's like it's going to be interesting to see people when they are just designing one little level with one idea behind beating it.
Right.
And I mean, I had so much fun just messing around, and it's just like just seeing the Mario Kart thing. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, and like the Metroid one, like it's not just you're the Metroid character or whatever, like just going around. They're designing a Mario level to play like a Metroid game. So the map is this just giant labyrinth of Mario stuff, but you go and you can't get through because there's enemies that you can't go through, so you're going to need to get the fireball. So you have to go back and find the power-up. You get the power-up, then now you can go through this wall.
That's awesome.
So you start playing it like a Metroid game. And there's a Mega Man level where you play as Mega Man, and it plays like more like Mega Man. Now, it's still Mario, you know, but it's just the design of it changes the way you play Mario. I think that's what's the most exciting thing to me.
I think this does sound like something that, because you were saying that each game is a piece of art in itself, and I think that like this is sort of that because this is very innovative for them. They've never done anything like this from what I can remember. And actually,
I mean, it's like if to put it in terms of movies, like Chris Nolan is very much like it's a Chris Nolan film, right? It's like a Batman film. It's perfect from start to completion. It would be like if he gave everyone in the world a camera and just took a bunch of footage and decided to make a movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so out there and it's so breaking with their philosophy, which is why I'm so surprised that, I mean, obviously everyone's going to love it. It's going to be huge, but it's surprising that they did it to begin with for me.
Yeah, I mean, it is. But I think that it's time for it. Like, I think this is like, you know, we're on the 104th new Super Mario Bros. Game, and it's just like, it's getting to the point where I think with this is finally the like, all right, now there's a Mario game that never ends. But to me, the most important thing to come to grips with is that this isn't a Mario game. This is a Mario level game. And I think that's a great thing. And it's just a different frame of mind to go in and to think about it. And I am addicted to it.
Well, I feel like
And I wish that it wasn't when Metal Gear was out.
yeah,
And that's the big thing. Is like, yeah, I don't know how to transition between.
But the good thing is, this won't go away.
Greg, you've played 95 hours of one
which
of them.
means I'm really close to platinum. Not really close, but I'm closer to platinuming one.
And there's also a whole bunch of like just hidden Nintendo shit that you're like, they went above and beyond with this game in a way that I was like, what the hell? There's like disco lights and all the weird sound effects and all the like random things. You come out of a pipe and like this holy light comes down and it's like, oh, and like all this shit. There's just fun, weird designs that change the game. It changes Mario like completely. And you see that in the 100 or the 10 Mario challenge where you're playing through. And from that, it teaches you the things that are in the game. And I'm just like, man, there's so much I didn't know about this.
Right.
But the most important thing that everyone needs to know is the fact that this game is loosely based off Mario Paint, which was one of the best Super Nintendo games of all time. And I loved that. Have any of you played Mario Paint?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
Long time ago.
So it had a mouse. And like I didn't have a computer, but I had this shit. And it was essentially just a paint program, but it had Mario. There was also
MS
Music
Paint,
Maker.
whatever it was,
Yeah, exactly. And there's all this different stuff. And I was just in love with the game. And the entire interface is based off Mario Paint. And I remember I was talking to my mom and I showed her a trailer of Mario Maker recently. And like she's convinced that Mario Paint is like the reason that I'm where I'm at in my life now. She's like, it taught you everything. You were creating things. You could make your own music. Like she's just, such a mom about stuff. But I'm like, no, mom, there's a new game coming out that looks like that. But it's called Mario Maker and you make Mario games. And she's like that just
What a
blew
time
her
to be
mind.
alive.
To be fair though, this is an amazing product to put out in the marketplace, and it's very similar to when I start teaching myself After Effects, right? Because there's a level of complexity to it where you're like, I can't master this thing in one day. I got to really dig in, and that's what it's fascinating to me is going in and seeing not now, but like 6 months from now when people have figured out how to put that fireball in Samus's hand, right, and really figure out how to almost mirror that experience to a level where you're like, do they fucking like crack the game?
Well, but even more than that, so there's going to be that level. But what I think is super cool is the target audience of this game, which is kids. Like kids are going to be thinking about game design, level design, and thinking about this stuff and being taught it without even realizing they're being taught it.
Yeah, but can you imagine though, like if you're a kid and you make one of the best levels that's like upvoted, like that could actually put you on a career path to working for Nintendo on some level.
Yeah,
that'd
be.
Where you're like,
fucking
dude, I
awesome.
made the best level on Mario Maker.
Hold on, I gotta go for a second.
All right,
Sorry.
You want to take a pause?
Yeah, let's pause.
Taking a pause.
All right, we're back.
all right.
Talking about Mario Maker and Mario Paint. So my mom's all proud of me. I'm thinking there's gonna be kids that are doing all this stuff. That's great. But more important than those dumb kids is the fact that Mario Paint had a mini game called Gnat Attack, where if you went and you clicked on this thing, there'd be these like gnats that fly around, and you have the mouse and you like click and you kill them all.
Dude, I
like,
remember that.
There's like boss fights and stuff that come up, and I'm just like, I need this shit because in Mario Maker the save machine is the same save robot from Mario Paint. All the music's the same. It's like it's just Mario Paint but modern. And I'm like, well, if there's no goddamn Gnat Attack, then I'm screwed. Last night, I left my controller alone, and I was just doing something else. I was on my phone, and I looked up and I saw flies flying around. I'm like, oh my God. And I went and I clicked on it with the stylus, launches the fucking Gnat Attack game in HD, and I lost my goddamn mind.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And then I looked at it later. If you leave your controller alone for like 15 minutes, flies come. Or if you get like the dark Venus flytrap or piranha plant and like shake it, flies will pop out. But anyways, do it. It's worth it. I love Gnat Attack. This topic has been brought to you by DraftKings. Put your fantasy skills to the test starting Sunday at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site where you could kick the season off by winning $2 million. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes are up for grabs, including $2 million for first place and $1 million for second. One-week fantasy means no season-long commitments. It's fantasy football on demand. Play where you want, when you want, with the players you want. This isn't fantasy as usual. This is DraftKings. This is my favorite part. Welcome to the big time. Hurry to DraftKings.com now and use promo code KINDOFFUNNY to play for free for a shot at part of $10 million in Sunday's Millionaire Maker event. Enter KINDOFFUNNY for free entry right now only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. Code.
I forgot to do it even though you approved it as my legal counsel, but I'll do it this week. I'm gonna go win this. I'm gonna go win myself 10. I'm not giving you $10 million, but I'm gonna win.
Can I have 1 million of it if you win?
If I win. No, you can't.
Okay.
I was gonna say, at what point, how many millions of dollars do I have to win to give Nick one? I'm like, nah, there's like
Way more than 10.
100 million?
100 million.
100 mil. Sure, I'll give you.
I would
I'll
have,
give you
yeah.
a mil.
Yeah.
Millions for everybody.
All right. Topic 3 of the day is Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Is everyone familiar with Pokemon Go, Nick?
I'm familiar with like Tomb Raider and Hitman Go.
Okay, this is not that. But they did
It's similar-ish.
Is it a lightweight
Not at all.
mobile version?
It's
They're
a
on
mobile Pokemon,
title.
isn't it? Ring, ring.
That's,
Let me check the phone. Yeah, it's truth. Calling for you, Tim. You better take it.
Good. All right. So, what's funny about that though is the Square Enix Montreal, Nick Verge, who's the fucking homie. He made an image of Laura versus like Pokemon and like in the Pokemon Go stuff, and it was funny.
So obviously, Pokemon's not made by Square.
No.
Okay.
So Pokemon Go is a new game that they announced to kind of. I mean, it's not for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon,
Okay.
but it will release during the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. I have a feeling they're going to do something as well to celebrate that. But it is a augmented reality game for mobile phones. So this is Nintendo's like real big first step into mobile games.
But not one of the 5 DNA games.
Yeah, this is not DNA. This is made by, I might be messing up some of these names. It's a company called Niantic, Niantic. They were owned by Google for a while, and now they're not.
They're here in San Francisco.
Yes. And so they're doing stuff like with Nintendo. They're making this Pokemon game, and it's a mobile game where you catch Pokemon in real life.
So it's one of those that uses your camera and you kind of look around the environment. So, oh, there's Pikachu.
Yeah.
And Pikachu's out there trying to
Does
score
it use your
blow on the
camera?
side.
Okay, so not much is known about this. Right now, there's been one trailer for it, and
It was dope.
blew the internet the fuck up. Like, the trailer has something ridiculous, has like 15 million views, which for video game trailers,
Suck it, Nightwing series.
Yeah, right?
Why don't you make a Pokemon series?
I know, man. Pokemon the series.
Coming out of the ball.
Starring me as Pikachu.
I like that.
Pikachu.
Pikachu doesn't go in the ball. But so the thing with this though
in the ball
is
by making
that the
balls.
trailer they released is really like 14 million views on a video game trailer thing is like that's big.
For a mobile game.
Like
That doesn't have Kate Upton on a horse.
exactly right. So the trailer it was like 3 minutes long and it was so amazing. It's very stylized, a lot of like big white text on the screen, and it's like imagine if Pokemon was in real life.
It almost made it look like a heads-up display or something. I was actually very confused when I was watching. I was like,
Yeah.
obviously the game's not going to be like this. What's
I mean,
the game actually going to be
so
like?
that's the thing.
And then at
You'll-
the very end they show it, and it's just like the two guys on the screen.
Kind of. So,
Yeah.
okay, so that's the thing is that you look at this, and as gamers, we all are instantly like, all right, what's the gameplay? You know, because this is the equivalent of something even worse than a CG cutscene trailer. You know, this is people in real life doing shit. Like you see people like throwing balls and shit. It's like you're not really gonna be fucking doing that. But you see the trailer is just like adults walking around, and they'll like pull out their phone and like there'll be like a map of where they're at, and then you see that there's a Pikachu nearby, and you look, and then he uses his camera and he's all like doing his thing, and then like you see the Pikachu running around and stuff, and like they throw the ball and catch him and stuff, and then there's like it cuts to like families, and they see a Charizard in the field, and like there's all this shit going on, and then the climax of the video is they go to Times Square. I'm upset, like I can't believe nothing happened there.
I was waiting
Yeah.
for him to catch it, but he's too
I've
enraptured in
said
your
climax,
story.
and usually that at least get you looking at Kevin.
I'm
getting
trying
ready
to. I'm trying to decipher all the words that are coming out of your mouth because I know it's English, but I just can't figure out.
You
if
know
you're-
everything
If
I
you're
just said.
stringing them all together, I don't understand. It's not-
You
it's
know
going
these
in
things.
and
All
bouncing
right.
on my brain.
So it climaxes with them in Times Square, and all the people in the trailer kind of come together, and there's just a ton of people around. They all have their phones. They're all holding them up, looking at the sky, and there's like a Mewtwo in the sky, and Mewtwo's a very important badass Pokemon, Nick. And you see all these other Pokemon fighting it, and it's like there's like a timer like counting down, and the health bar is going down. So it's like, will they beat him in time? Who knows? And then like last second they beat him,
Spoilers, yeah.
and then everyone's like going crazy and
I
shit.
assume they all get to catch him if they beat him.
Maybe catch him, or maybe just defeat him. He might have been
All
a bad
right.
guy. I don't know. Whatever. They showed the stuff, and that was pretty much it. They showed gameplay, which just was an image of a Pikachu standing in a grassy fucking field and Charizard, and it's just like
'Cause
it
the
looks
idea is-
nothing like you want it to.
There's like, it seems like there's 3 parts to it, right? There's the collecting on your own, where you go around the world, find these guys. There's the fighting other players. So you and I are on a train, our before we blow Nick's mind, our phones let us know that we're close, and we're like, oh, we accept battle, we battle. Then the third part is, there's these like events, like MMO events, raid party kind of things that happens. Now, this is all happening on your phone, of course.
Yeah.
But let's say you don't want to carry your phone out of your pocket with you at all times looking for these things. What if I told you they were releasing alongside this mobile game, a peripheral that you wear on your wrist that looks like a Pokeball, and it looks like a Pokeball fucked one of the Google Map pins, and it has a little friendship bracelet band that goes around it, and you could just wear this and tap it to do things in this game. Would you wear this?
Would I wear that?
Yeah. Can we do a video where we wear it for a week and we talk about it?
Assuredly, no. I will not be wearing that or that thing that comes with Fallout 4.
Okay, now first off, let's not throw stones at the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy.
The Pip-Boy is not going to be happening.
I'm going to wear it around this house all day long, naked.
Okay, so going back to it, here's
Greg,
the
you
thing.
can wear clothes with
This
it.
is like the announcement that people have been waiting for
Oh,
forever.
dude, yeah,
It's a
totally.
Pokemon MMO.
Yeah.
Like, this is amazing. And the fact that it's real life and all this stuff, it's like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever. Except it's totally not going to be. It's not going to be what we want to, and it's going to be disappointing.
That's actually kind of cool.
But it's like...
Great attitude
Yeah,
about that.
no. But here's the thing, though. Is
Keep
it's
pulling
like,
up Portillo. Looks like a dog leash.
it
That's a fucking
could
great
be
idea.
awesome. And I feel like even though it's not going to be what we think it's going to be,
Yeah.
it could still be awesome.
Yeah.
And if it links to a Pokemon game, which they said they're going to try to do it and have that do stuff, if there's an actual game that I'm really playing and then this is all just extra stuff on top of it, that could be cool. But
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want this to be a standalone
Yeah.
awesome thing. Now, a little backstory on this. Niantic, the company that's making it, or with Nintendo, they already made a game called Ingress.
Which we
Now-
all remember, Game of the Year.
Do you know anything about
No idea
this?
what the fuck Ingress is.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay. I've heard of it before. It's a huge thing that like millions of people were playing. I don't know if they're still playing.
Was it on the Vita?
It was like no. It was like 2013. It originally was on Android devices. So like Kevin was playing it with like his friends.
Fucking nerd.
But the game has this really, really, really complex science fiction like backstory thing. And if you watch the trailers for that, it's very similar to the trailer for this Pokemon thing, where it's like people are doing all this type of crazy shit. But it's like, all right, but what's really going on? Now the story of that game, whatever, I don't really know, but the gameplay of it is there's portals that come up. And there's different factions that fight over control of the portals. So you kind of become people that you take this side or this side, and you go to the portals, and like it's like King of the Hill, but in real life. Now the portals are all based around real world locations. So like the ferry building in one of the videos is one of the portals. So people will go and like if they check in there, then shit happens, and you look at your phone, like there's like augmented reality bullshit and all that stuff, right? But what ended up happening here is it's this it's an MMO, so people start doing metagames within that game. So shit got fucking real. And there's portals in the middle of like fields and stuff that people were trespassing and doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing. And like people in real life were like fighting over this shit. And like they'd meet up and beat the shit out of each other. There was arrests that happened over this. Like this became like a real thing where there's like real money being put into it. And like people get obsessed with it and started creating this whole culture where they just created their own ecosystem of like this crazy storyline and became characters where it's like real life role playing.
That's awesome.
So that sounds crazy, right?
Yeah.
Now let's take Pokemon and add that to it. Let's make it a little safer for kids. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't
and
wait for
that's
them
why the Pokewalker thingy is the kid version. Like that thing's fun. It's because so that way there's not kids using their phones walking into the middle of the street looking at Google Maps and fucking dying. This thing will just fucking tell them what to do.
They're still gonna walk.
They're
into
still
the
going to
street.
walk into the middle.
Well, that's because they're kids and they're dumb.
I
It's
can't
not
wait for it to get
Pokemon's fault.
monetized. Is what I keep saying. Is I can't wait for it to be monetized. McDonald's, which wouldn't, but let's a Del Taco buys into it, right? And they just like, now you get a fucking special Pokemon every time you come in here at Del Taco, kids.
Yeah. So Ingress did that. But it wasn't so much like buy a thing; it was just go there.
Yeah, go there.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like Del Taco would do an ad buy with the game, and so it's like that would become a portal. So then people would go there.
I'm already here. Might as well
and
go
do
to
the
Del
stuff.
Taco.
Yeah, exactly. But what's cool is the idea would be depending on where you live, there's different Pokemon, so you can't catch them all just where you're at.
Right.
So that creates. It's just like there's so many ideas with this that could be super cool.
I believe the first game to do this was Mod Nation Racers on Vita, which also gave you unique items if you went in and used Nier around like the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower. I never did it because nobody understood Nier, but
Yeah.
that could happen. Also, Mod Nation Racers on Vita was a disappointment and really hurt my feelings.
But this is one of those cool things where there was a huge spike in Ingress downloads when this Pokemon thing was
really?
announced.
People just
because
wanna try it out.
They're interested. They want to see
Yeah.
what it is. Now, I watched a couple YouTube reviews, like pretty detailed reviews of this
Was
Ingress
it just
game.
Kevin? Hey everybody, K-Man here to tell you what Ingress is all about.
No, it wasn't that. But it's one of those things where, I mean, I'm not super into it, but I can understand people getting lost in this. And I think Pokemon might be that gateway drug that I'm like, this is fucking cool.
It makes us all crazy.
The role playing of, oh, I'm this like secret espionage person and I'm part of this team that like needs to beat this other team. Totally not down with. Oh, Team Rocket's out there and I need to stop them. There's gym leaders and I need to go beat them because I'm a Pokemon fucking master.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
When I saw it, I like, we were talking about this earlier in the year where I was like, I should play a Pokemon and actually give it a shot. And you're like, try this one. And I hunted it down and then it turned out it was on my bookshelf. And it turned out I've already played it and fell out of it. I'm like, well, not the best one to start with. But
Definitely the best one to start
But the
with.
one on a mobile phone, like maybe it's just my first Pokemon, you know what I mean, kind of thing. And I mean that like in the like my first whatever, you know what I mean, where I'm just doing it, I'm screwing around. I'm sure you're gonna be screwing around with it. So yeah, we'll go on trips and see stuff and pick stuff up.
The interesting thing about this is it seems like it's going to appeal to gamers who've never picked up Pokemon before, is what I kind of got from this. Especially you look at the YouTube views, 15 million or whatever.
Well, those are the people playing Pokemon.
I mean, no, yeah. I mean, that's totally true. But like, just think about it. Everybody has a mobile phone. You're like, oh, hey, random person I work with. There is who's not in the games industry. There's this new game I'm playing, Pokemon game. Oh, isn't that for kids? No, it's hella dope. It's like geocaching, except you catch fictional monsters.
Yeah. Now, so a cool thing that you're kind of bringing up here is the way that this game is being marketed. Just looking at it, it is being marketed at adults. It is being marketed at people that grew up with Pokemon. And the two dead giveaways to that are the fact that everyone in the trailer is an adult. There's no kids. And if there's a kid, they're not the one playing it. They're just with their dad playing. And only the original 150 Pokemon are being featured. But that's one of those things where it's like, I'm not such a purist in the way that I feel like those are the only ones that matter. But I know there's a lot of people my age that do feel that way.
Well, those are the only ones that those people grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, they played that and they didn't really play.
Yeah, they didn't play the other ones. Like, I didn't play Ruby or Sapphire. So I know all the ones from the original, but I don't really know any of them from that era.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
that's
makes
what I'm saying,
sense.
though. It's like the marketing of that, like only seeing the Pikachu and Charizard and Mewtwo and there's a whole bunch of other ones that were in it, but they were all
familiar with.
OG ones.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that that's definitely saying something, and who knows if that's how it's going to end up. But this is very much this is not necessarily a kid's game. Now the little device thing says otherwise, but that's awesome. A more adult Pokemon game. Or like it's not for adults, but yeah.
Does it say you have to have that little accessory?
No, you don't.
No,
that's
no,
just
totally.
like that's just a different
It's
way
just
to
a
play
little
it,
bonus or whatever.
I'm interested. They say microtransactions. I want to know what that's going to look like.
No, well, that's a disaster. I mean, that's obvious, right? Like you're not near the Rocky Mountains, so you're not getting Geodudes. I want a Geodude, you know.
Okay.
Does that mean since I live in Las Vegas, we're only getting Sandshrews?
You're only getting Sandshrews. Maybe if you find a cave, there'll be a shit ton of Zubats.
Damn it.
But this is, I mean, I love this.
Yeah,
but I
seems like
also
a cool
don't like
idea.
the idea of going outside.
You're thinking too hard on it.
I know,
mean, there's
I
going to
know.
be the random, hard to find things, in the middle of the desert or whatever. But they'll be. It's going to be otherwise. It'll be like I'm sure it's going to be like Invisimals on Vita and mainly on PSP, where they made 1 million Invisimal games, where it was like, oh, you can use your same office every day, and I mean, really every 15 minutes, and something's gonna pop, and we know you've been playing long enough that you need to see something. So here you go.
Yeah. And I just like it because we travel so much.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we're going to see all the cool shit.
And that's why I think we'll play it. It'll be a dumb distraction while we wait in the
Yeah.
airport.
I can't wait to have to convince Nick to take me places.
I'm gonna play this. This
I really
sounds
want
fun.
Articuno. Take me to Antarctica.
I'll go to Antarctica. That'll be good.
that'll be
What's
good.
in Mexico? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, what Pokemon would be in Mexico?
Is there a tequila Zard?
There's no tequila
A
Zard.
blue agave Zard?
No.
We're going. We're gonna find out.
All right. that'll
Yeah,
be
well,
fun.
at least we'll be able to clean up in the United States.
Yeah.
For sure. Come convention season, we go to like 18 different states, so we're good to go.
That'd be dope if there was like certain regions, like maybe there are the ones that pop up frequently throughout everywhere you go. Like you can get a Pikachu no
Rattatas.
matter where you go. Yeah, Rattata. You can get like Pikachu, Rattata, or Rattata.
Caterpie. Yeah, Rattata. How do you fucking say that? I don't even
Yeah,
know. Is it Rattata?
Rattata, I
Okay,
think.
yeah.
Zubats, and you can find those like anywhere, but then like regionally, they're the ones that are just specifically like your
Magmar.
legendaries, the ones that you really want.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, we'll have Magmars in Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's awesome.
Tim, you need to just somehow figure out how to get like a login or do a login that you can share with the community on the forums and just have everyone in the world
Catch
just
'em
get
all.
them, catch them all
Gotta
for
catch
you.
them all, bruh.
You could like
That's
think about all the places
trailer
that we
gave me
have.
fucking chills.
Yeah.
Like it ends, you like it's real life, and the camera like zooms out, and the Earth's like spinning around. Just says, "Gotta catch them all." I'm like, hell yes, I do. I really do.
Must go to
This is the
Italy.
Pokemon movie all over again.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so
Fair
good.
enough, fair enough.
All right.
That's
Last topic of the day.
Sorry, that might be my first Pokemon game. By the
No,
way,
but see that.
I'm gonna play it.
I don't know if it should be. I mean,
All right.
there's definitely not
Okay.
enough information to make that choice one way or another. But like,
Jump
this,
it in.
it's gonna be different.
Jump it in.
It's gonna be real different. All right, last topic of the day comes from the Kind of Funny forums. Go to kindoffunny.com/forums. Leave your Gamescast suggestion. Oh wait, what was the actual? What's the URL? Do you remember making it?
Kindoffunny.com/forums.
No. But there's kindoffunny.com/Gamescast topic.
Yes. Did I make that? I did make that.
You
Didn't I?
did.
Yeah.
And it'll
We've said
take
it before on the
it'll take
show,
you right
so
there.
better
Yeah.
be there.
Though I hesitate because I forget if it's topic or topics.
I'm on
Kevin,
it.
can
I'm
we
I'm pretty sure
confirm
it's
that?
topic.
It'll be a third.
All right, cool. Whatever it says here.
It's been there for.
They're reading it. Kevin's a good guy and he does stuff. All right. This question comes from literally everybody.
Whoa!
How excited are we for Kingdom Hearts 2.8? So this thing just announced today. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, which is Roman numeral 2.8, final chapter prologue.
That's
All
it.
right.
I'm excited about the game. I'm not excited about the title.
Yeah. Classic Square. My God.
But the game is like versions of other games in the Kingdom Hearts, right?
Gamescast topic. Got it, Kevin.
Okay, cool.
Fix
No
it,
S at the
Kevin.
end. So yeah, it's another collection. So for a little bit of history for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts, there's been a whole bunch of them, right? In
Sure.
the series. There's only been 2 mainline ones, like numbered mainline ones. So there's Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2. Then there's a bunch of spin-offs that aren't necessarily spin-offs, they're just side stories that are actually part of the story. Don't fucking kill me in the Comments.
Comments.
I'll take it. How many have there been? Just ballpark.
Overall,
Yeah.
I don't know, 10?
So to catch you up, there's been 10 games and none of them have been good.
No, fuck you. I hate you so much.
Which one of them has Mickey Mouse in it?
All of them.
Then
No,
This
no.
motherfucker's
All
all
right.
over the place. And you got
Almost
Cloud.
all of them.
Cloud's
Yeah.
sword is replaced with one of those things where he grabs it and he pulls it out. It's a popsicle stick, but then it's a Mickey Mouse like ice cream thing.
Oh, I love those at Disneyland. You can lick them.
Yeah.
You're like,
Trust
they're
me,
made of
Cloud
sugar.
licks it all day long on this one.
Hey.
Everybody in this game is licking it.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
So,
This sounds like my
Kingdom
kind of
Hearts
game.
1, they released Kingdom Hearts 1.5
Sure.
HD remix.
So what? Okay, stop. I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah.
What type of game is Kingdom Hearts?
It's an action RPG.
Okay.
So it plays.
Okay.
So you're
No information found.
no, because I mean I've seen
Terminator review and it's all question marks
Yeah.
and red and white.
so by action RPG you're not like your characters aren't meeting and you're not just you're actually
No,
doing
it's not
what
a
you have to do.
turn-based fight. No.
Right.
It's so. I mean, the gameplay. It's kind
Do you have a
of,
team of people? Do you get to be Mickey and then you can pick Cloud?
You're Sora in most of the games.
Who's Sora?
It's a Kingdom Hearts game. It's just unique to Kingdom Hearts. This is my character Roxas. My
Okay.
character Riku. They're the main characters you play as.
Why are you looking at me?
Just to see how much you're enjoying this.
Oh, I'm loving it. So I enjoy the education.
You play as these
I'll never
characters,
play
and they
Kingdom
go to
Hearts.
different Disney worlds, and those are just like the storylines as you go through the different missions, right?
Okay.
The game plays kind of like an action game like God of War,
Okay.
but instead of it just being the button commands, there's a menu that you like key up you use the menu to decide which attacks you're doing,
Got it.
and but it kind of plays like a God of War type game,
All right.
and there's like some light platforming.
And it's based in the Disney world, obviously.
No, it's based in its own world, but the Disney worlds are worlds in that world.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
Makes total
they
sense.
treat the worlds like almost like
It's the Disney
traveling,
World, obviously, no.
almost like traveling in between like a multiverse or
It's
something.
like,
That's really what it feels
imagine
like.
it as if they're different planets. So it's like it's the Disney universe, and they're like planets, and you go between the Traverse Town, which is the Kingdom Hearts world, and then there's like Tarzan world and
Oh, yeah.
Aladdin world.
All of this makes complete
Crystal
sense.
clear.
None of this
Crystal
is
clear.
confusing at all. The games are, the storyline is. What I'm saying is not.
So Kingdom Hearts Roman
Getting
numeral
that vein in his
2.8.
Huh? Okay, yeah. So Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD remix, and then they released Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD remix. Those were one and a couple of the other
Do you know,
spin-offs.
I don't think they understand how that works. That process works.
And then 2 and a couple of the other
Admittedly,
spin-offs.
I don't really understand how they come up with like 1.0, 2.0, like 1.8.
From the studio that
You know what
brought
I mean?
you.
It doesn't make
This
sense.
city
The
of
naming,
Dukako.
the naming doesn't make sense. But then so they announced this one, which is the 3DS game, which is the prequel. It is the first game that takes place after 2 officially, and so it kind of leads into 3.
So naturally, it's 2.8
coming. Naturally, but that wasn't called that. That was called Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyways,
That's awesome.
So that game is now finally going to be on consoles.
Okay.
So in addition to that, they're releasing, and I might be wrong about this, but it sounds like it's a HD movie that has to do with the new mobile game coming out called Unchained. It's called Kingdom Hearts Backstory X. So
Are you
that's
sure it's
the
not
thing.
Backstory 10?
I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know. I
legit-
don't know what that
Japan,
is.
we don't know yet.
I legitimately looked at it and was like, is that backstory or whatever it is 10 or
Yeah,
X?
no, I have no
There's
idea.
no
It doesn't make sense.
clarity to this.
And then in the last thing, and this is the most exciting thing from this package, is some new thing called, I forgot what it is. It's like Birth by Sleep .2 or something.
It's like point 0.02 or something.
I don't know. I don't even
something
maybe
random
it is.
like that.
I don't know, but it's fucking weird. But it looks like a.
You know, I give you a lot of shit, Greg. I really do. But I'm starting to feel bad about that. I'm starting to think that a lot of that shit should go to that side of the
No.
thing.
All right. So it looks like it's going to be a prologue to 3 using the engine of 3. And it has story elements and characters from Birth by Sleep, which is the PSP game, which is like a prequel to all of them, and it's good. So this is exciting. Now, what this tells me is that this is going to be kind of like the Ground Zeroes, or the what's another game that did that? Final Fantasy 14, the Deuce
Gran
Day or whatever the
Turismo.
fuck. Gran Turismo,
Prologue, yeah.
where it's like it's an extended demo of the game to
Sure.
really kind of show it off and tide people over until the real thing
But there's
happens.
a portion of it that's an HD remix of older games.
But it's
Just
this
a little bit
one
of it.
is a small portion.
Okay.
Very small portion. It's just one. It's the 3D game, 3DS game. So this is all leading up to 3. Now, what's my thoughts on it, and am I excited for it? Not really. I mean, I'm excited for the movie, and I'm excited for this new prologue thing. But what leaked was Kingdom Hearts 2.9 a couple weeks ago. Is that still real? I don't know. I hope it is, and I hope that is the collection of all of them together.
Can you imagine this if they announced 2.8 and then like 3 weeks later, like also 2.9 is coming?
I'm waiting for 2.10. I just want that to come
That's
around.
3. So that's the
Are you
thing.
sure it's not like Heights, where you can go to like 2.11, and then at 2.12, that's when it changes over?
Well, I'm not, and I don't know why all of a sudden now it's Roman numerals, where a second, like 1.5 and 2.5 were the numbers.
I want to be so badly a fly on the wall during
Well,
those
here's the
naming
thing.
meetings.
I have a feeling that like
Is there like
someone
a language barrier or something that's causing these
I
names?
think it's like a dude that's like, all right, who in this room's coming up with the names? Oh, it's that guy. Hey, I dare you to come up with the dumbest name possible. People are gonna buy it.
All right, Dream Drop Distance.
It's like it's like, oh, it's the 3D game, so we're gonna need 3 words that start with D. Anyone got it? What's your favorite D word? Dick. No, we can't put dick in the title.
Other than dick.
Dream.
Good.
All right, I guess we'll go with Dream. What about the next one?
Operation
Drop.
Dumbo Drop. Let's take
Oh,
drop.
shit.
We'll go drop.
Yeah.
No, I really do feel like it's the opposite though. I feel like they're really serious about this, like to a fucking staggering degree. And they probably excruciatingly go over every single title and try to find some sort of philosophy behind it. And that's what I want to know. What is the philosophy? What decision? Because we've all been in those corporate meetings before where we're like, we've just got people throwing out opinions to like justify having to have an opinion
sure,
in this
to
room.
be in the meeting.
Right, to be in the meeting. So like, is that what it is? There's like 50 people in this meeting and like that's what they come to? There's like one dude who's like, let's just call it 3D Dream. And someone else is like, it's got 3 in it and D, we should really have 3Ds. And then someone else is like, I like the word drop because of this other thing. And like,
Because
there's a
they're
CEO that's
dropping
like,
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a VP who's like, I don't really know any of what's going on with any of this stuff, but I'm just going to write it all down. And this is going to be what I present to the CEO later. And then it all just, is that how it happens, do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
It's
none
just-
of it makes sense. But that's the thing.
It gets noted to
Stupid
death.
name aside, like this is exciting, and I like that this is the closest we're getting to 3 ever. And like it's going to be years until that game comes out, and just because it's big.
I'm just glad we're getting something
It's-
right now.
and
It's
that's
been
the thing,
how
this is
long?
cool.
10
Yeah.
years since the last one?
Well, since 2.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of things in between.
Yeah.
But and they matter. They're
Yeah.
just not like they're
Birth-
not numbered sequels.
Birth by Sleep was arguably my favorite in the series. I
And then that's
really
amazing.
enjoyed
and that's
it.
why this is really exciting with seeing Birth by Sleep parts in the new engine. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But anyway, I'm bummed because I want all the games on PS4, and I think it's super weird that they released Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 on PS3 at the end of the PS3's life cycle, like overlapping with the PS4, and now they're doing all this hyping up for 3. It's like they should have. And especially
One
when
collection to rule them all.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy X and X-2 are also, they were released on PS3 and then on PS4. So it's like same company, same logic, and same all that stuff.
Right.
And now they do 2.8. When 2.9 was rumored, it's like, I have a feeling 2.8 is going to be this year. 2.9 is next year. And then 3 is the year after that. And it's like...
Square Enix, they want that money.
That makes sense, but it's like, this just seems horribly complicated. But am I
Yeah.
excited? Fuck yeah, I'm excited. All
Hell yeah.
Moving on, Greg.
Also excited.
I just like giving you shit.
I
Calm
know, I'm just
down.
fucking with you.
Better than Crash Bandicoot.
I hate you so much. It's
A
not.
So
waffle
it's a salami
fruit.
sandwich.
Brash Candipoot asks, in your opinion, who's the better snake that you play as? Solid or Big Boss? Personality, combat, philosophy, cool factor, etc. I find it interesting that 4 out of the 5 most recent games have revolved around Big Boss. Does that affect your choices?
I mean, that's the funny thing about it is I feel like, honestly, we know more of Big Boss than we do of Solid Snake, which is weird. Because I think I feel more of an affinity to Solid Snake because Metal Gear Solid was this game that came out and changed my, rocked my world and showed me what video games are going to be and all that crap. And then you got 2 and you were Raiden. You know what I mean? It was that weird thing like, fuck, but you got to see Solid Snake from the outside and he was awesome. And then we got deprived of him in 3, I felt personally. And Big Boss is fine and cool, whatever. But then 4, you get to come back and you have the fucking microwave scene. You have all these awesome moments with him, right? Of like,
But you're old,
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
So it's, I mean, really, you only played one game as Solid Snake.
Yeah.
The natural
Yeah.
Solid Snake.
Yeah, exactly. I know, and that's why it's weird to feel, you think about it too, and because it is that thing for that Snake is interchangeable, right? And the fact of like when we talk about Snake, then you have to really boil it down to Big Boss because really they're kind of the same guy in terms of like playing the game and who they are and how they talk when it's all hater. You know what I mean?
But
Stuff
that's
like that.
what's interesting about this question. I was thinking about. I've been watching a lot of dissections of the previous games,
Sure.
and a point that I never really thought about is Big Boss has a personality that Solid doesn't have. Like especially in 3, where like there's scenes where he's smiling.
Sure.
Like you don't see Solid smiling. Solid's always just kind of really confused and not knowing what's going on.
Right, but that's because he's in our everyman shoes. Like he has like a whole thing built up off of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 that we never really know. Like when you get there and like Mei Ling in her terrible accent's like, I can't believe I'm being hit on by the famous Solid Snake. You know what I mean? Like he's got like
I
a
love
whole
how your
thing.
accent of that accent. It was just
Yeah,
like,
well, it's
what is
just
that?
I'm not gonna do their racist
Yeah,
version. I'll do my
yeah,
own racist
yeah.
version.
I think that was
Thank you
actually
very
Star
much.
Wars racist version.
You sounded like the Ego Raptor version.
Yeah, right,
Oh,
exactly,
the famous Solid Snake.
But what's interesting about that is Solid Snake was always really kind of the ladies' man. Like all the girls fucking loved him.
Yeah.
Like anytime he talked to a girl, they were like he was flirting with them and,
Right,
and
right,
that.
right,
But
right,
that was
right,
kind of that was it. He was just fucking badass. I'm a fucking cool dude and I do cool things.
Right.
Big Boss was a little bit more like just a guy.
Yeah.
Like, that
Well,
was,
yeah, in
like,
3, like it
normal
starts off and he's not boss, right? Boss shows up and fucking totally schools him and just walks away from him and shit.
Yeah.
Who is he in 3?
The
Big Boss.
personally,
I'll talk. We'll figure it
so
later. We'll figure it later.
Who is
We'll
he
fig-
before they call him Big Boss?
Naked
Naked
Snake.
Oh, he's Naked Snake.
Yeah.
And there's Solid Snake.
they
And
gave him
there's
some
Solid
clothes, and that's
Snake.
when he became
Solid
Big
as
Boss.
liquid. Now there's Punished.
So why?
Venom.
Yeah. We got the horn sticking out of his head.
I haven't played Metal Gear Solid 5, but I can tell you from the experiences that I've had so far, just based off of Metal Gear Solid 3, I'd say Big Boss. And the reason why is that last scene.
Yeah.
Can I spoil the game?
I mean, don't
Yes.
spoil it. Just don't though.
Okay.
Of Metal Gear Solid 3?
I mean, we know what you're talking
I
about.
know we're only
Yeah,
gonna ruin
yeah.
it for Colin, who's right around the corner from
And
playing every
me,
one of
I
these
might go
games.
back and play Metal Gear 3
I mean, I'm
one
just saying,
day.
like that is like
You
a
know then.
moment.
You would
Yeah,
know.
well, there's just that moment where he's there, and then you see like the tear rolling down his eye, and then you see him salute, and the music is just blaring, and then every single time, I watched it on YouTube the other day, got choked up.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. Is like
That never happened with Solid.
But that's the thing though. 3 had that story. 3
Yeah.
was building to that. The
Yeah.
other stories don't really do. I mean, even like 4, the end of 4 is kind of emotional. Like,
It is.
like,
It absolutely
and all
is.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
it's just
the end or the end?
the both.
'Cause
Well,
the end, I'm just like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
is
yeah.
happening? Can I go
Okay,
to bed?
I guess
What is
just
going
the,
on?
Just the end.
I'm
not
a
the
fucking,
end.
I'm the torso that came back to life. What is happening? But no, like, I mean, that and that's the thing is like, I feel like, and this is weird now talking about it because like we've talked about in this episode how Big Boss is so quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5, right? That I actually feel like the Ground Zeroes into 5 Big Boss for me is tainted what Peace Walker and 3 were for Big Boss. You know what I mean? Like Peace Walker for sure is, you know, you feel for this guy and you see how much this all still resonates with him, and you've, like you're saying, he smiled before in 3 and had like a personality, whereas now he's like been beaten. He's had what he loved torn away from him, right? And then he gets this moment of like fucking hope, and he goes out into the world to do that, and da da da. And he's that awesome scene at the end when he's riding the fucking horse after metal. You know what I mean? Like there's all these great things for it. But yeah, now he's just this quiet dude who lets this dog lick his face and then hangs out with a quiet chick.
Is that because Kiefer Sutherland was expensive, or did they just write it like that? I'm just wondering, is the Japanese version, is he talking more, or
No,
is this just
No.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, there's a
just wondering, because I'm
I saw
sure
on the Metal Gear
Kiefer is
Reddit
expensive.
the other day. They had a screenshot of an interview, and I'm not sure where it's from, of like whoever the cutscene director is or whatever, where he's going through and it's all captioned. I think it's true, but it's like, because I haven't checked on it, but it's him basically saying that Kojima came to him, was like, I want him to talk less in this game, and he laughed it off like a joke, and Kojima's like, I'm not joking. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's just how they want the character to be in this.
Yeah, it's such an interesting choice that
Right.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
But
Well, let me ask you guys this, because you're the Metal Gear fanatics. Why, when I think Metal Gear, do I immediately think Snake?
because everyone's named
For
Snake.
Solid Snake,
But yeah, Solid Snake.
he was there first.
He's just the first.
And
Yeah.
his name is like Snake.
It's synonymous, right?
And he-
Metal Gear Solid. It's just like it just kind of feels right.
Big Boss at one point was also Snake. He's just after he
Yeah.
beat the boss. Is that a spoiler? Yeah. He became Big Boss.
He still is Snake.
But he's
Yeah.
not Solid Snake.
People still call him Snake in the
he's
game.
not
Now he's
Solid
punished
Snake.
venomous Anaconda Snake.
Yeah,
His Anaconda don't want though.
yeah, not at all.
Got it.
Yeah, it gets
But
crazy.
they do still call him Snake. No,
Yes,
they call him Boss.
They call
in the
him
game.
Snake, but they also call him Boss. But, like,
It's
if you
one of those,
die,
like,
it's
moniker
Snake,
things where he's
Snake.
picked up. Yeah.
He has 10,000 names. Everyone in Metal Gear has 10,000 names. It's
Cos
ridiculous.
Miller
I don't
is
like it,
also
though. I don't
Benedict
like-
Miller is also
I don't like playing a whole game as
Revolver
the sort of knockoff
Ocelot.
Snake.
Shalashaska.
Knockoff Snake?
I don't like playing as the knockoff Snake. I want to be Solid Snake.
I mean,
No,
but what's funny is Solid Snake's the knockoff Snake
Technically.
because he's a clone of Big Boss. But I'm with you. I mean, all right. Jafakri asks, why do trophies feel so much better than achievements?
We didn't have them for so long. We were deprived of them, and now there's the mystery behind how many trophies you need to level up and what it all matters and counts for.
I don't think they do feel so much better. I think you just personally like them better. Not you, like Jafakri.
No, I know what you mean.
Like,
The
it's
PlayStation community,
literally
we all
the
feel
same.
that way. We all feel that way.
Yeah, it's the same fucking. It's
and
fanboyism.
but it's that weird. Exactly, it's that weird thing of I didn't give a shit about achievements when PlayStation didn't have them. I always thought they should. But when I play an Xbox game, I didn't care how many achievements I got. And then as soon as I went to that, and I remember when they were announcing trophies, they come see the demo. I was like, I don't care. And then I saw the first demo and I was like, this works for me for some reason. But it's just probably
because you like PlayStation.
they were just applying something that I already loved.
Ice27 wants to know, does the announcement of the Aqua Blue Vita mean anything for the future of the handheld?
I'd like to tell you it does, but then today, Gravity Days 2 coming to PlayStation 4, and the original version's now getting HD. You're like, so no,
Done.
it doesn't. But it's awesome, and I wish it the best, and I love my Vita, but
Kiss My Nuts
yeah, I will.
with a Z wants to know what games are left that are scheduled for release this year that you're actually excited for.
Lego fucking Dimensions.
Oh man,
I ordered a whole bunch of the level. He does this thing where here, hold on, everybody, listen to Portillo snore. Now he's gonna stop. No. That's better? You got it there? All right. He does this thing where he'll sit in my lap, but then his head gets cut off because he's at a weird angle, but he don't care. Probably going even more brain damage, but whatever.
there's so many games coming out the rest of the year that I'm excited for, and it's all the smaller titles that I am personally like. This is why I play games. We got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. We have Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
We have Rock Band.
That's not a smaller title.
I know, but whatever. The others are.
We feel like
Amplitude.
we're really going to get back into Rock Band.
I'm definitely gonna if I somehow get a hold of a guitar and the game, I'm definitely gonna play through at least.
We're
all the
getting
songs.
it. I mean, we're gonna have it here, and I liked Rock Band and whatever. Did you see the track list today?
Yeah,
Track list is a bit underwhelming. I thought.
yeah. I mean,
I was like,
I'm
I don't
not
even know who these
interested.
people are.
I don't know any of it,
But
but it's Guitar Hero. It's
Exactly.
a discovery thing for me.
Rock
lot
Band or
of the
Guitar
time.
Hero?
Sorry, whatever.
It's Rock Band.
They're interchangeable, really, for most part.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's also the fact of like, I'm getting it on Xbox because I have hundreds of dollars in DLC on Xbox already.
Yeah.
So I'll have all the Weezer albums I want on there and all the country music.
I think that's my experience. I say Guitar Hero. It's like, to me, I treat it like Guitar Hero. I don't treat it like Rock Band. I don't really care about playing with everybody. I have fun. I do that
fucking
shit.
play with me.
But I will.
You
But it's like,
bitch.
I like playing the guitar parts for the challenge and for the arcadey nature of it.
Right.
So I'm just be alone at home, just fucking. doing
So
my shit.
for me, it's Lego Dimensions because it's we're right on the cusp of it, and I get a little Superman figure and a little Wonder Woman figure, and I get to play with them, and I love Lego games, and then eventually I get Ghostbusters. But then after that, it's Fallout. And that's the thing of just like, wow, we're still now. I talked about it, in the summer, right, with the launch of Witcher, that I was now on this roll of awesome games, and like, hopefully, Metal Gear won't kill me here, and I'll platinum it in the next few weeks, and then it'll be in the Lego Dimensions that'll keep me tied over, if not just a little sojourn, and then get back to Metal Gear, and then into Fallout and be lost to Fallout forever. And Tomb Raider's in there still too.
Yeah, we got Amplitude in December, so I'm very excited.
Is that really happening?
No, I mean, who knows? We'll see.
I feel like that game just.
I think it's December for backers and January
I'm a
for
backer.
other motherfuckers. And then obviously Uncharted collection.
Oh, the collection, right.
I'm so excited for that. Star Fox. I need to beat that. I'm hoping the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games. That's a shit ton, man.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, I need to beat that. But hopefully I can beat that in like 5 hours and just call it a day.
Yeah.
When's that game? Was that game out yet, or when's it
October or something.
That game looks awesome.
It does.
It
But
looks really good.
I
Does it
wish
not
I
play
played
well?
it. No, I wish I fucking played it 4 months ago when everyone else in the world had it.
Came
And
out
there was
in
no other
July in
games.
Australia.
Oh.
And they speak our language, kind of.
So everyone in Australia just shipped it over to the States, and now everyone's
They were just
got
like,
it. No one
and I
cares
think the
anymore.
England people have it too, but they're like, okay, we got to take all the U's out of these words, and that's just what's slowing it down. I think
Why didn't they come out in the States?
all the U's and all the O's.
What are you looking forward to?
See, they had to take it was translation.
Man, I'm just trying to get my hands on Metal Gear
Localization.
Solid.
Good. I mean,
I've-
honestly, that's all you need. With your schedule, with your life,
Yeah.
just do it.
Lego Dimensions does look awesome. I've never been a huge Rock Band guy. Greg gave me a code for Metal Gear, so I have absolutely no excuse now.
Good.
Now I'm actually more tempted to play than ever. So thank you
Sorry
for that.
about that.
No, you've doomed me and give it with this great gift.
Your awesome YouTube videos cease to happen now.
You just see like my channel just shuts down.
Yeah.
It just
It's now a
disappears.
Metal Gear Solid fan site.
Yeah. All I do is just Metal Gear Let's Plays, and that's
Yeah,
it.
That'd be great. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the first ever episode 37 of the Kind of Funny Games cast. Thank you so much, Danny, for joining us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
Danny.
for
Love
having
you.
me.
A pleasure. Hopefully, Colin wakes up from his death
He's dead.
and rejoins us at some point. That'll be fun. Thank you, Nick, for everything.
Thank you, Tim.
I love you.
Love you.
And Portillo, keep snoring your snores.
His little tail's by his peepee, so it looks like he has two peepees.